Welcome back into Rounding Third Baseball, episode 326. All good streaks must come to an end. I'm Nick, and we have Harrison tonight. How are we doing tonight, Harrison?
Unfortunately, whenever you go streaking, Nick, it comes to an end. It's not always a pretty end, but it comes to an end.
Well, I mean, that's true. And I mean, to classify streaking, I never run, so it's a slow streak, if you will. But yeah. Anyways, so
It's a better visual. There's nothing streaking by you. It's just kind of moving right past you. But anyways, I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. Interesting weekend, but it's been good. But we have some stuff to get into. But first, make sure you follow and like us on Facebook. You can subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow on Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. You can also listen on Spotify and Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. We also have our affiliate sponsors, Logitech, MLB Shop, and Lids. You can find these links on the tops of all of our socials. So if you do any shopping with these companies, please use our links as we get a nice little kickback with no additional cost to you. Just a great way to support the show. We also have Rounding Third merch on Etsy. If you search Rounding Third Baseball, we have sweatshirts, t-shirts, tumblers, phone cases, whole bunch of stuff. Just a great way to support us and to get our name out there. And finally, on Patreon, we are trying to build the community over there because this platform actually supports creators, and we have a lot of people that already do support us over there. So check us out, Rounding Third Baseball on Patreon. All right, let's jump right into it. A big milestone this week. José Ramírez, 300 stolen bases. He reaches 300 stealing third base against the A's. He's 9 homers away from the 300 club. If we get to this milestone, Harrison, Hall of Fame, Cleveland #1 legend overall, what comes with this tag if he gets 300, or when he gets 300?
So I guess we're saying 300 is good, right? Is that the assumption?
I've heard. I don't particularly know. I'll never know, but you know.
Fair. I mean, we've said this on the show for years. Like this guy is so underappreciated, so does not get the respect he deserves. He is an absolute superstar that kind of gets forgotten about in Cleveland. I mean, just 300 alone get you into the Hall of Fame. I mean, probably not, but I'd like to think it probably should. I mean, I don't pretend to know how the voters vote anymore, but this guy, he's completely, if not for him, I don't know where the Indians or the Guardians organization is at this point in time. They continue to be competitive. A big piece of it's him, but he is a god in Cleveland. He is on their Mount Rushmore without a doubt. And I for sure believe he's a Hall of Famer one day, maybe not today, but he is a for sure first ballot Hall of Famer, and he will forever be seen as a god in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. I think the statue is going to be erected when his career's over.
They should build it before.
Imagine that, going and just seeing your own face like in a statue form before taking the field that afternoon. I can't imagine how big my head would be.
But at the same time, like when you think about that organization, Indians, Guardians, who comes to mind immediately? I mean, it's J-Ram. I mean, J-Ram is, and we've said it before, like when he retires, the record book is just going to be his name over and over on repeat.
Yeah, this just in, J-Ram is pretty decent.
Yeah,
pretty
he's
decent.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. His name is going to be on the top of all the records, defensively, offensively, all the stat sheets is going to have his name. But I mean, he's been there his entire career. That's the thing. You look at, let's say the Indians of the 90s, right? Let's run down those rosters real quick. Roberto Alomar, many teams. Omar Vizquel, many teams. Jim Thome, many teams. Even Manny Ramirez, a few teams.
And probably Albert Bell elsewhere.
Right. Albert Bell, many teams. Like, you just keep going down that organization and you keep going back. It's just a lot of guys where Cleveland is a stop.
Yep.
Right. José Ramírez has been there and will finish a Cleveland Guardian, which definitely helps the cause, but he is pretty damn good on top of it. So
yeah,
there's that.
Welcome in, Mr. Clam. It's been a little while.
Yeah, he might be one of the most underrated superstars of all time, and I don't disagree with that statement at all.
No.
No one talks about this guy how he should be talked about. They don't. Because he's not flashy, he's not over the top, but man, every night you look up and he's 2 for 2, 2 for 4 with a home run, a double, 3 RBIs, and you're just like, "Holy smokes."
Yeah,
You know?
let's follow this for a moment. So in 2017, finished third in MVP voting. 2018, third in MVP voting. 2020, second. 2021, sixth. 2022, fourth. 2023, fell back to 10th. 2024, fifth. 2025, third. The guy is literally he's in it every single season.
Yeah.
And yet I think the average fan still doesn't know who he is because he's in Cleveland. It's an organization that doesn't make a lot of headlines. They're not exciting. They play very good, boring baseball. And he is a superstar leading an otherwise kind of faceless franchise that generates very little in terms of headlines. And he does it really, really well. And I honestly think he likes the anonymity he still has. He's just kind of like there doing his thing. But everybody in baseball, everybody in this country, every sports fan in the world should know this guy's name.
Yeah. That just goes to the big market, small market argument we've had for years on this show, right? We flash back to just last year with Aaron Judge and Cal Raleigh, right? If it's reversed, if Aaron Judge is in Seattle, Cal Raleigh's in New York, and they put up the same exact seasons, is the MVP voting different? Maybe. I mean, that's a hard comparison because Aaron Judge's season was pretty ridiculous. I get it. But if you have another New York Yankee put up a 60 home run season, that's MVP, right? Because Seattle's a mid-market team. Let's call it how it is. And that's what Cleveland is, and that's why Ramirez doesn't get the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, I mean, he is, to your point, in any other market, in a bigger market, he's everywhere. In Cleveland, he's just another guy.
Yeah, but yeah, he's 9 homers away. We could see 300. I think for sure we're going to see it, barring a knock on wood, a massive injury out of J-Ram in the next few weeks. But he's going to get there this season, 300.
Yeah, and by the way, J-Ram almost never misses time. Another bonus or benefit to J-Ram is he's out there all the time.
Mr. Clam says there's really no reason for MLB to push him nationally. He plays for a relatively invisible franchise. There's just got to be enough return on investment. There's just not going to be enough return on investment. It's a fair point. Absolutely. Right. It doesn't really benefit them to push him because is that going to bring more people to Cleveland? Probably not.
And it's the constant issue you have in I mean, it's really in all sports. I mean, aside from like Patrick Mahomes, the majority of your superstars are on one of the two coasts. Your biggest markets are along the coasts. It's the Bostons, the New Yorks, the Philadelphias, LA. You know, it's your two coasts, and usually your East Coast. I mean, Patrick Mahomes kind of broke that in his own way. But you look around sports and you look at where your superstars are. I mean, you had Jordan and you had Patrick Mahomes. Most of these other guys became huge when they went other places.
But Jordan was also in a big market. Chicago's a huge market.
Chicago's massive. It might be the outlier to the Midwest, but I mean, typically you're talking coastal, and MLB loves to push players in those markets because the markets are huge and they're a massive draw. Cleveland, you can push J-Ram all you want, but another 100 subscribers to MLB TV doesn't move the needle.
No. And you could argue that the Great Lakes are big enough that Chicago is coastal, but that's another argument for a different day.
Fair.
But yeah, no, I get your point for sure. He's just not, he's never going to be that big, right? He's just not, and he should be, but he's just not. So,
and I think José Ramírez is a lot like Mike Trout. You know, he found a place he likes. He's totally fine not being the national poster child. He goes out and plays baseball, and then he goes home and does and has a life. You know, some of these guys, that's all they're looking for. You know, they want to be somewhere, they want to be comfortable, they want to make a good living, they want to play baseball. and they're okay not getting all the spotlight on them.
Yeah. John Temple says Griffey Jr. broke that mold. I mean, yeah, I think to an extent he did. Seattle, again, not a big market, but you couldn't ignore the player that Ken Griffey Jr. was. I think that's 1,000% accurate.
And there are definitely those few players, that had that kind of impact. Griffey, that was a small market. Peyton Manning in Indianapolis, that was a small market. But you look at a guy like Bobby Witt, who, I mean, even now, as good as he is, like, you don't see his name a lot.
Yeah, decent right hook too. Yeah.
Is it a decent right hook, or did Tim Anderson have a jaw made of glass? It's tough to tell.
Both probably.
Both are true.
Mr. Clem says, I've always said Mike Trout is a victim of East Coast bias. And to an extent, and I think there's that. And I think just the type of player Mike Trout is. We've talked about it openly on here about him just going home, punching the clock, punching out, going home and being with his family. Right. So to an extent, yes, East Coast bias does, have an effect on players for sure. I'm not saying it doesn't. But if Mike Trout is a flashier player, if he's in front of the camera more during that stretch that he had, that 8 to 10 year stretch where he was unreal, is it different? I think it might be.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think you put J-Ram in New York or LA or Philadelphia even. This dude he's on, ESPN every night. Maybe gets on the MLB Facebook page, after Ohtani each night. But yeah, this guy gets a lot more fanfare in a bigger market for sure.
Yep. Yeah, J-Ram does things the right way. Shouldn't get flack for it. I would love to have him on my team. Curtis, I think every MLB franchise would love to have this guy on his team. Yeah, someone said it back. You said it, Curtis. Steady. You know what you're getting out of this guy every night. You can permanent marker him in. I'm not even going to say pencil him in. Like, he's the easiest fill in to a lineup card you're ever going to have.
Yep.
I think across the league, honestly. Solid third baseman defensively. Probably above solid, I would say. He makes some pretty good plays over there.
He's very, very good.
And that's underrated as well. But just the whole package of José Ramírez just isn't talked about enough around the league.
Well, and I think the flip side to the whole, doesn't get a lot of attention paid to him argument is the fact that he doesn't draw attention either. He's not a guy out there doing crazy stuff, saying stupid things, getting in trouble. He just goes out there, plays the game the right way, and goes home.
Now, we did have a little bit of a beef with José Ramírez last year, if you recall, because he was selected to the All-Star team. And we had been saying, all spring, this guy should get attention. This guy should get attention. And then he gets the attention from the fans and he doesn't go.
Yeah.
So, as much as I get resting, right? And we don't know the state. Maybe he was nursing an injury, or, he needed those few days to just kind of unwind, spend with a family, whatever, sure. But we can't really complain about him not getting attention when he finally got it. And then he was like, yeah, no thanks. Which the All-Star game's kind of turning into around the league, across the league with a lot of other superstars. But that's a different point for a different day.
But I think that's where J-Ram is kind of like Trout. We want him to be more famous than he probably wants to be. I think he's totally okay not getting the attention. I think he's totally okay going to a restaurant not being recognized. I think he's totally okay flying under the radar. I don't think he needs that attention. I don't think he needs the fanfare. And I think we all want that for him. And I think what you're probably finding is he doesn't want it for himself. He likes what he has.
Yeah, Ryan. And this is what we're saying. Some guys want nothing to do with the limelight. Yeah, for sure. I heard he did that just to spite you, Nick. Thanks, John. Yep. I mean, no doubt. Yeah, he gets off the field and he turns on rounding third baseball and just listens to me talk. I know for a fact he does. So,
yeah, I mean, he's lurking pretty much every night.
Yeah, so pretty awesome.
So's Rob Manfred and a bunch of the owners, because apparently we say stuff and then things happen. That
still boggles my mind. But anyways, all right. let's get to the streaks that kind of ended this weekend. Nick Kurtz, his walk streak ends at 20, tied with Barry Bonds. Roy Cullenbine was the record at 22 games, so only 22 games, or only 2 games off the record, sorry. But for those of you who are asking about Barry Bonds last show, because Kurtz was at 19 or 18, tied with Williams. He got a walk with 2 more games, tied Barry Bonds at 20. But the record is 22 straight games with a walk. But insane, man. Pretty cool streak.
And I mean, to do that in 20 straight games shows a tremendous amount of plate discipline and strike zone understanding. Yeah. And this is a kid still. Right. Like, this is not a grizzlied veteran. This is a kid who is able to maintain that level of plate discipline when he wants to go yard, but he's taking what's being given to him.
Yeah. To go back to José Ramírez real quick, Silix asked serious question: when he retires, will he be an all-time top 10 third baseman?
I mean, in my book, yeah.
I'm with
you. Of this generation, it's him and Arenado. That's it. And you're talking of the last 25 or 30 years.
People are going to lump in Machado there if he gets to 3,000.
That's why I said in my book. In my book, Manny Machado doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know he doesn't in your book, but yeah, it's Machado, J-Ram, Arenado for sure. In our generation, top 10 of all time is pretty insane.
Top 10 of all time across all of baseball is tough, but to me, like, if he's not top 10, he's just outside of it. But I mean, I think he's got to be top 10.
I'd put him there for sure.
There's not a lot of third basemen that like jump out to me as ahead of him in that.
No, for sure.
I mean, besides Nick Arno, he was my favorite third baseman.
I mean, defensively, that dude was awesome, but he just could not hit water if he fell out of a boat.
I loved him I loved Nick Arno when he's on the mound. He was really fun to watch there.
Yeah, for 2 outings. But anyways, yeah. Ryan says, still don't understand how Bonds isn't number 1. Who the heck is the other dude? So Columbine, I think, was for the Tigers in 47, I believe was the year. And I think just kind of one of those random baseball things. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm with you, Ryan. Like, how does Bonds not own all of these on-base walk records when he walked basically like 3 times a game?
Intentionally?
I don't know. It just, like, the math doesn't math, but for some reason it just doesn't work out because he holds none of those records, which I'll never understand.
Yeah, crazy. John says, I might be biased, but Beltre is the best I've ever seen live. Yeah, he was pretty ridiculous third baseman.
Beltre is a good one.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Robert. Yeah, Mike Schmidt's number 1, and it's not up for debate. We're with you. Yeah, not close at all. I don't know if I can sit here and name you 10 top third basemen. I mean, Schmidt, George Brett.
I mean, yeah. And of course, I can't even go back to the 20s and 30s. I won't even try.
Yeah. Brooks Robinson.
Brooks is a great one. From this generation, it's Beltre, Arenado, J-Ram. You've got.
You consider A-Rod a third baseman?
Well, it's the thing. Like, do you consider Cal Ripken an A-Rod third baseman? I mean, they probably are considered third baseman, given games played. I think Scott Rowland falls behind that whole group. Love Scott Rowland. He was one of my favorites to watch, but I don't think he's in there. Chipper, yep. Yeah,
Chipper's another great one. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, does he crack the top 10? I would.
I feel like so. Yes, but it's probably it's tough because I think you've got somewhere like 10 to 15 of those kind of elite level guys in history. He's definitely in that group.
I mean, Boggs, Eddie Matthews. ESPN pulling up their rank. They got Santo at 10, Martinez at 3. He's not a third baseman. I mean, that's a DH. They got Beltre at 8, Paul Molitor at 7, Boggs at 6, Brooks Robinson at 5, Chipper Jones at 4, Eddie Matthews at 3, George Brett at 2, Mike Schmidt at 1. So that's ESPN's list of top 10 third basemen.
Yeah, and a couple of those guys are questionable as third basemen. So
Yeah,
typical ESPN.
but I mean, there's some other ones. Greg Nettles is mentioned in Baseball Reference. Scott Rowland's in there. But yeah, so I mean, does José Ramírez crack the top 10? I'm looking at those names. Man, I don't know. Al Rosen's another good one for
It's
sure.
hard because he's a different kind of player than these guys too. Like,
yeah,
I mean, most of these guys on this list are kind of 70s, I guess 80s and earlier.
yeah,
There's not really not much in terms of current.
yeah. I mean,
you got Beltran. That's about it. But like you look at J Ram's career, I mean, he could end up with an incredibly similar stat line to Beltran. Like that's the hard part is that where does he land? I mean, he could be pretty close to a guy like Beltran.
Yeah,
he needs 125 or 130 home runs and another 1,200 hits, and he's only 33. I mean, he's going to be up there with most of these guys.
Yeah, yeah. It's like who's the top 10 guitarist of all time? Everybody has their list. Yeah, agree. I mean, it all depends on what you value in a baseball player. But Silic says, I have Jose as number 9 on my list just because he has really no weakness in his game. And that's fair. I mean, the stolen bases and the power alone kind of sets him apart from other third basemen. Like third basemen don't steal bases. They don't.
Most of them can barely move.
So that's a great point, Silix. So,
and that's I think what makes J-Ram different is that some of these guys you look at and it's like, yeah, okay, they were strong in 3 out of the 5 areas or 4 out of the 5 areas. Like J-Ram's strong in all 5.
Yeah. And this is another great point, Ryan. So many dudes come up as third baseman and wind up at first or in the outfield, right? I mean, George Brett later in his career moved to first, right? I mean, a lot of those guys did. So that's a fantastic point. Maybe that's enough. If he plays third his entire career, does that put him in the top 10? I think it could.
I mean, I think it does because you got a lot of these guys that were third baseman for a little while and then moved on to somewhere else.
Yeah, 1,000%. So, all right. Yeah, I know we kind of bounced back to José Ramírez there, but all right. Aldemaro Vargas. His hitting streak snapped at 27 games at Wrigley against the Cubs. D-backs had an horrendous series against the Cubs. Went in there, got swept. But he is now leading the league in average at a 404 average. He now qualifies as the league leader for 404. I mean, I know we're a month into the season, but pretty still impressive that nobody knew who the heck Aldemaro Vargas was. I mean, I did. I've been watching him for a couple of years in Arizona, but that's besides the point. If you're not watching the Diamondbacks, you don't know who this guy is. Had a really hot start and pretty cool to watch him come out of the gate and have 23, 24 straight and have the hitting streak carry over from last year. Pretty awesome start.
Yeah, incredible. And a guy that we talked about has been kind of a journeyman and has kind of settled in and found a spot. I mean, this is an incredible start. That's no joke when you're hitting at that level, that kind of a streak. That's that's impressive.
And it's pretty cool because this guy isn't supposed to be playing, but the Diamondbacks have had so many injuries that he's had to, and he's gone in and performed. So that's been the incredible part. Like this guy is a role player, and he's come in and he's made the most of it. So pretty cool, but nice run out of him. But snapped at Wrigley Field at 27 games. Still pretty damn good at any level, let alone the highest level.
Yeah, I mean, 27 games against what you see these days, that's wild. I mean,
yeah,
some of these guys, yeah, I laugh, Kyle Schwarber hitting 230 and all this stuff. I mean, 27 straight games, just getting the bat on the ball is impressive.
Yep. Nice. It's like batting 600 nowadays. 1,000%.
Really is.
Yeah.
The batting average as a whole has dropped so far.
Yeah. Yeah, he begins his descent back to planet Earth very soon. And that's the thing with baseball, right?
Yeah.
You can be the hottest guy on the planet and it will humble you real fast. Real fast. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that name from like 10 years ago. Yeah, he's been in the league a lot longer than people expected. I know you looked him up last show and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, Vargas is 34. He's been around for 10 years.
Yeah.
He's at a 1.5 WAR right now, and he's doubled his career WAR in the first 25 games of the season. He's been a backup and kind of barely played for a long time.
Yeah. But pretty cool streak there. And hopefully Diamondbacks can figure it out, but they're just hovering right around 500, but we'll see. All right, let's switch over to Munetaka Murakami. 13 homers, leads the league. Are teams kicking themselves for not signing this guy right now? The way he's swinging it, the way he looks in the box, he's making a lot of teams look foolish for not taking a bid on him. Are you buying Murakami's success or are you selling?
I'm not buying it yet. I mean, he still has a lot of swing and miss in his game. I think he's kind of coming as advertised. A lot of swing and miss, also hits a lot of bombs, big loud contact. But like you kind of look at the stats and you're like, all right, like good. But with the home runs he's hit, you expect things like slugging to be higher, and because he reminds me a lot of Schwarber in the sense of it's kind of a home run and then maybe a single, but it's kind of like home run or nothing with this guy. There's a lot of that in his game. I mean, this is a guy that's got where to go. He's got 27 hits on the year, 13 home runs. It's home run or nothing with this guy. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Very much like a Schwarber. So I think he's coming as advertised. I just think the power has shown up a little bit earlier than some people expected.
Yeah. Right on cue. Murakami, Schwarber 2.0. Yeah. The thing with him that's impressed me is these homers have come in big spots for the White Sox. As much as, quote unquote, big spots the White Sox can be in, I guess, if you will. They've come in like pretty important moments for the White Sox.
Yep.
I like him. He's been fun to kind of keep an eye on, tune into some White Sox games. I didn't watch a single inning of a White Sox game last year. Gonna be completely honest. I'm tuning in to watch this guy hit and to see some of these young kids develop. Colson Montgomery also off to a ridiculous start. White Sox have some pieces there. They really do. Are they still quite a ways away? Yeah, I'm not saying they're ready to compete for a World Series tomorrow, but with the young kids they got, Kyle Teal being out of that lineup still kind of hurts unless he's back. I don't know the status on his hamstring, but they still got some more pieces coming. But between Murakami and Colson Montgomery, they've got some thump in that lineup.
Yeah, let me take you through a couple of anomalies in his stat line that really kind of make me laugh. So this is a guy that's got 145 plate appearances, 117 at bats. He strikes out in basically 1 out of 3 at bats. He's got 48 Ks on the year. He has 27 hits, 13 home runs, 0 doubles, 0 triples. So literally it is home runs and singles. That's it.
It's Schwarber.
It's Schwarber. 231 batting average, 372 OBP, only a 564 slug because he's got no other extra base hits but home runs. OPS of 937. Like the stat line itself, pretty impressive. But then you look at it and you go, how is a guy leaving the month of April with not a single double? Like you haven't hit a single double?
Right.
It's such a weird stat line. But I think he's coming as advertised. He is kind of a poor man's Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah. Yeah. Batting 223 right now. Yeah. Japanese players seem to pick and choose where they want to play, West Coast preferably. Yeah, I mean, makes sense, kind of closer to home there. But if they get 250, 35, and 90 plus, then it's more than anyone was expecting. I absolutely agree, Silas.
Totally agree.
But
Totally agree. I don't think anybody really knew what to expect, but he was advertised as a guy with a lot of swing and miss and a lot of power.
Yeah.
The question is, what are you going to get?
Yeah. They're fun to watch this year, and so are the Cards. Yeah, I think we said it a couple shows ago that these teams that, weren't supposed to be in it, right? Everyone's picking them to be in the basement. They're playing like their pants are on fire, right? They have nothing to lose. And they have been fun to watch, just scrape some games together. But
Well, and honestly, like I've watched a few Rockies games. Like I've actually found them kind of entertaining to watch because those young players are all kind of finally gelling. They've lost 4 in a row. They've kind of gone into a funk, but like they had been kind of fun to watch. Like some of these teams that we didn't expect much out of have been entertaining. The Marlins, as expected, are entertaining. The Nationals are more entertaining than I thought. They score a boatload of runs.
I can't watch them, so I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, right. Sorry about that. I shouldn't have brought that up.
That's fine.
I mean, the White Sox have been fun to watch. The Minnesota Twins have come back to earth a little bit, but they've been relatively entertaining. They're a competitive team every night. They're competitive.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on pace for nearly 60, right? Does the math work out there? 26, 39. Yeah, I would say so. On pace. If you have 13 homers a month. Yeah, they'd be close. You're playing 6 months of baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, so. I mean, it's certainly on that. I mean, it's at some point here. This is the first month. I mean, they're starting to build a book,
right?
And so I think at some point you're going to see things slow down a little bit. But he is an all or nothing guy. That is his game. And for the White Sox, that's probably perfect. That's what they need. Is they need a guy that can just quickly throw a couple runs on the board. It's a very specific role he plays.
Well, that's what the White Sox have been missing for a few years now. Ever since Jose Abreu left, really,
he was
never
the last
had
guy they had that could like ambush a pitcher.
Yeah, because they signed that big free agent contract to Benintendi, which still I never got that one. But they had no thump, and they couldn't go get thump with that contract. So yeah, finally getting some power in there. And like I said, Montgomery's also supplementing his power in there with Murakami. It's turning out to be okay for them. But
Montgomery's a monster. I mean, that kid is going to be a monster for a long time.
Yeah. So yeah, the young boys are listening to their coaches and playing hard and led by a couple vets, and that's what it is. You have a couple veterans kind of showing them how to do things. It works out well more times than not. Yeah, Ryan, Cardinals look loose. It's so refreshing after the Nato Goldie experiment went down in flames. Yeah. And Silix, you're right. Rockies ran into the Braves' red-hot offense, but they still scored a ton.
They did. They pile up runs. They really do. And it's a lot of it. It's the chaos ball we talked about. It's just guys constantly on the move.
Yeah.
And I think to go back to the point about the veterans, we heard it from Mark Rogers, like how important it was having a guy like Trevor Hoffman in that clubhouse when he came up. Like how much it changes the team when you've got a veteran like that sitting there who's like, guys, this is how we do it. And like holding people to it. Like not allowing the guys to slack off, not allowing them to mail it in, expecting a standard. That makes a huge difference. That's what's made some of these guys, I'll use Derek Jeter as an example. Like the Yankees had a standard. He said it and he enforced it.
Yep. 1,000%. So we'll obviously we'll all be keeping an eye on Murakami to see how he does going forward here. But sorry
his
to
home
bring
runs are not cheapies, Nick.
No, well, that's why he doesn't have any doubles because none of them are wall scrapers. So
no, that's what makes him fun to watch is when he hits it, the whole world knows it's going.
Yep. John Temple, I hate to bring this one up for you, but the Royals became the first team in MLB history with batting stats of 17 strikeouts, no walks, no home runs, and they still won the game against Seattle. Emerson Hancock had a ridiculous game and loses. Is this par for the course this weekend? Yeah. Is this a product of Seattle's play? Is this the Royals being scrappy? What is this?
I don't even know how to describe the Royals. I've never watched a team that is so offensively incapable, but yet somehow finds a way to score. They are terrible. Their offense is terrible. I've never seen a team with less offensive ability somehow scrape runs together. I I like this team, but I almost am at the point where it's hard to watch because like you just know they can't string hits together. They just can't. I mean, they're winning games, 2-1 with 4 hits.
Yeah.
And you're like, God Almighty, if this pitching staff wasn't good, this team would be 0-30 right now. Like they're awful, awful offensively. But I do think it's also it's the Mariners pitching, and this pitching staff is elite,
Yeah.
and they show it. And the Royals somehow can suck this bad and yet still fall into a win. I don't understand how the Royals win games. I just don't after watching them.
But if you've been watching the Mariners lately, they also cannot score runs to save their life. So this was kind of like,
Oh yeah,
who's the lesser of two evils here? I mean, they're both very wretched. And
this is like watching two T-Rexes have a boxing match. Like there's nothing going on. It was painful to watch. I caught some of it, and there's times I'm like, this is like, who's watching this right now? Like who? Because it was bad. It was just bad to watch.
Yeah, and shame on the Mariners. That's where I'm kind of leaning Curtis, right? I mean, you struck the 27 outs were handed to you on a silver platter with 17. I mean, 17 strikeouts. I just, man, still couldn't win. And no walks, no free passes. Still found a way to win.
That's the amazing part. Is like, how did anybody get on base to actually score?
Yeah. Yeah. Baseball can be so weird. How does that even transpire? I don't know. Baseball is weird. Strange.
And that it's fitting for the way this season has gone. I mean, this has been the strangest season I can remember. And we'll get in here in a minute, but it's just like injuries piling up, and teams are supposed to be good that aren't, and teams that weren't supposed to be good that are, and managers getting fired in April. I can't remember a weirder April in my life.
No, I can't either. We've been talking about it for the entire month. I don't get what's going on.
None of it makes any sense.
Yeah. This team can't hit for crap consistently, and their pitching is probably top 5 starting and bullpen.
Yep.
Yeah. Seattle's lost at sea.
Well, the irony of it too is that you just described both teams. You said this team. Right. It's really these teams because they're the same. They both can't hit for crap, and they both have top 5, maybe even top 3 overall pitching staffs. Like elite pitching, minor league offense.
Yeah. Yeah. Witt will stick around KC and Trout himself. Yeah. Well, I mean, he's there for what? 14 more years, 15 more years, however long that extension was. The Mariners and Royals are mirror images of each other this year for
trash.
Sure.
They're both trash, and they're painful to watch.
Yeah. Man. Let's be fair, Harrison. We would all want to watch T-Rex's box. It would be more entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd get as many hits as those two teams did, so.
You might need to stab the big dumper in the butt with a trident. Yeah, man. Yeah, this is it, Michael, right? Nearly 200 years of baseball, we still get first team ever is insane.
I know.
Right?
It feels like every week, too, there's like a first, and it's like, how? Like, are we just making things up to be first at, or are these like real stats?
Yeah.
Baseball's the oldest sport, and yet we still have all these firsts all the time. And this is not a good first for that matter, but
no. Every show we come across something where we go, we have never seen that before.
Yeah.
So here's this week's. You're welcome. Crazy.
Yikes.
All right. Ranger Suarez, Ron Hair Suarez.
Ron Hair.
Yeah, Ron Hair Suarez. Pulled hamstring. Pulled from his start today in the 4th. Are the Red Sox cooked, Harrison?
I mean, it's not looking good. I mean, Crochet, so Sonny Gray goes down. Then Crochet goes down. Now Suarez goes down. Now the latest news is he's feeling sore and he's hopeful he'll make his next start, but he may have to skip one. Okay. I mean, let's hope that's all it is. But this Red Sox team that's going to be built all around run prevention ain't preventing any runs. And the guys who are supposed to be there aren't even there anymore. This Red Sox team feels like the Braves team of last year. It was just like one guy goes down. Next week, somebody else goes down. Week after that, next guy goes down. And next thing you know, all the guys you thought you were going to have, you don't have any of them anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Crochet hurt, Sonny Gray hurt, Suarez hurt, Brian Bayo lost. I mean, your pitching staff is gone. It's pretty much gone. It's May 3rd, and your starting pitching was going to be what carried you, gone.
I have no words for this team. Like, people are trying to, like, they know I'm a Red Sox fan. People are trying to crap all over me for it, and I'm just like, yeah, I agree with you. I'm not defending. I can't defend. I have nothing to defend. I have nothing to defend.
What am I going to say? The team sucks, and all the guys that matter are hurt. Yeah, it's not good.
Even when they weren't hurt, they sucked. So it's like, what do I say? I can't say anything. Yeah, you guys are all digging my spiral ham picture, huh? Yeah, the hamstring. You get it? No, okay, cool.
Yeah, they're terrible. The Red Sox are just about done. Like we said,
Yeah.
you can't necessarily win or lose a division or playoff spot in April. But I mean, you can put yourself so far back, it's hard to recover from it. And this is where we're at.
Yeah, we'll take Contreras back if you guys aren't going to use him. No charge. He's been the only bright spot of this team.
Could you imagine what they'd look like without him?
No. I couldn't. We would be 0-30, no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't know what to make of this team, this roster. I don't know how Craig Breslow survives this year. I mean, I think Cora needed to go. I think Breslow might be the next guy out the door. And I know it hasn't been that long, but it's every offseason. It feels like we come in and we're like, how did we put ourselves in this position? Yeah. We're there again. Massive holes didn't get addressed.
Yeah. And Silix, there's something to say about this, right? Braves still getting hurt left and right, but made good moves for depth this offseason. Anthopoulos is the best GM in baseball, but I'm a homer. But listen, he is still making that team competitive, even starting off spring training and the first 2 weeks with just injury. Braves are still playing well, right? The Red Sox pretty much already sold the farm that Bloom put together, right? They shipped Kyle Teal and Meadroth out for Garrett Crochet. Cool. We like the move. Yes, you're giving away your catcher of the future and Kyle Teal. However, you're getting Crochet back, right? Then you send the rest of the farm kind of to St. Louis to get Sonny Gray and William Contreras. You sent the pick you got for Devers, or the trade you got for Devers, back out somewhere. Like, I mean, for Dustin May. I mean, what are we doing? There's so many.
And that Tibbs kid is lighting the world on fire. He's going to get called up by the Dodgers for Dustin May. And if you recall, when they made that trade, I know you didn't like it. I was mad that he made that trade.
Yeah.
Because it made zero sense. I don't know. And we can go back and check the tapes, but when they traded for Crochet, I said that was a gross overpay for Crochet, what you gave up. It was love Crochet, but that's a gross overpay. And I think that's going to come back to bite him too.
The deal itself, yes, was an overpay, but when you got the extension, like almost immediately, I was like, okay, like I get it. So there might have been like a trade and extension talk there. But I mean, if we're going to get Crochet of last year every year, then I don't think it's an overpay. But if we start the injury train back up again, then it's tough.
Yeah, and that was always my stance is Crochet is great, but for how long? You
Right.
know, we just lived through the Chris Sale debacle, and we're gonna get right back on the horse with another guy who tends to miss time.
Yeah. Contreras carrying a team is enough said. Bad situation in Fenway. Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, who would have thought we'd be saying that? Thank God Contreras is here. He's carrying our team.
Can we send Devers back to you guys? No, thanks. I actually saw the comparison that it was the reverse Pablo Sandoval that he sent to the Giants. I saw.
No, you can have Devers.
Yeah.
You're gonna love him because we don't want him.
Yeah, the reverse
He's
Pablo
your headache
Sandoval.
now.
The reverse Pablo Sandoval post got me rolling this afternoon. I was like, man, that is good. But yeah.
Wait,
man,
the reverse
it's
Pablo
bad.
Sandoval?
Yeah, that's what they're calling Devers because we got Pablo Sandoval and he was terrible, and we sent Devers in return. Yeah,
So that's our Uno
yeah.
reverse card is sending him Devers.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, man.
I like it.
Ooh, my buddies at work say I'm a homer, but wouldn't you say Baldwin is a top 3 catcher already and could battle for MVP? I'm going to take MVP straight off the board because as long as Shohei Ohtani's heart still beats, he will always win MVP. So I don't think that's much of a battle, to be completely honest. Top 3 catcher though, I got Will Smith. I mean, would you put Shea Langoliers up there right now? That dude's hitting the lights out.
I mean, normally you'd have Cal Raleigh up there. You would have
Dylan Dingler.
I mean, Dylan Dingler is kind of more defensive, but definitely offers you some offense. Austin Wells is kind of an interesting one. Patrick Bailey, like you got some guys that are more one-dimensional. I mean, I think you're not a homer in the sense of Drake Baldwin is an absolute freaking stud.
He's so good.
He is so good. Top 3, maybe not, but I wouldn't be shocked if we're not. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if we're talking about him being there the next year or two. I mean, he is really freaking good.
Yeah. And if you guys have not tuned into Shea Langoliers yet, my goodness, that dude is an animal.
That boy is something.
Yeah. So not yet, Silix, but you're on the right track. Ivan Herrera is he's shown flashes of brilliance for sure. But yeah, man. Baldwin will be there for sure. MVP, like I said, MVP is Ohtani's for the next 8 years. Let's be honest.
I'm pretty sure they've already had the plaques made.
Yeah. So, but anyways, yeah, Red Sox are up the creek without a paddle. So that's that. I got nothing to say. No further questions, Your Honor.
Yeah, the Red Sox are a dumpster fire. The end.
Yeah. Yeah, him as a primary catcher has dropped every single pitcher's ERA compared to any other catcher they've ever had, even Sale. I was blown away when I heard in-depth stats about him. Yeah, we're not saying that Baldwin is bad. I'm not saying, oh yeah, he's the worst catcher in the league. No, he's probably top 5. He's up there. I mean,
yeah, I think he's top 3, maybe not yet. Top 5, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's up there. Who would have thought that the Braves had Baldwin, William Contreras, and Shea Langoliers in their same farm system? Wow.
Yeah. Well, and I've said it many times in the show. Like, I do think Alex Anthopoulos, and I've named him a bunch. I think he's a tremendous GM, maybe one of the best in baseball, because he has done such a good job finding young talent, signing people where he needed to, making trades when he needed to, drafting well, developing well, and moving guys when he had to. He took some risks on those long-term extensions, which some have worked and some have not necessarily worked as great as it hoped yet. But I think he's ahead of the game from where most GMs are.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, Shea Langoliers. I love Dallas Braden on the pod. Like he comes out with some great one-liners.
He does. He does. He's a wild man.
Right. You guys can just pretend the Sox don't exist till 28. We get it.
I've been probably don't exist since like 21.
It's fair.
I mean, thank God for MLB TV, so I can watch everybody else because I do not watch the Red Sox anymore. I honestly, I haven't watched the Red Sox probably consistently in like 4 years. I watch
They're-
everybody else because
it's a-
honestly, I have not liked the way this Red Sox team has played in 4 years.
yeah, they're a tough watch. They really are.
They're very tough watch. I don't like the style of play. I don't like anything about their game.
Yeah. Yeah, Silly says, I'm a little early, but I got a lot of belief in my boy Baldy, and you should.
As you should. He's
Yeah.
there are 29 other teams that would give you almost anything you want to steal him away.
Yeah, 1,000%. All right, out of left field discussion topics, Harrison, these ones are yours. What do you got for us tonight?
All right. I got a chance for us to be dreamers. I got the chance for us to be, old men, screaming at kids to get off our lawn. And then some chances to kind of recap April. So let's get on to the first one, Nick.
All right.
So, in case you didn't know, the CBA expires later this year, and we're going to go into a whole new CBA for 27 and 28 and beyond. In case you guys didn't know that.
Yeah.
So my question to you and chat, Nick, is if there were, no limitations, just however you want to do it. If you had the power of the pen here, how would you change baseball in this next CBA? What are the 2 or 3 things you want to see baseball completely change that you think they've gotten wrong?
Probably the direction that they run around the bases. Let's just complete. No, for real.
What are you going over to England? Or going to do it all backwards?
Yeah, exactly. No, for me, it's the salary cap, the deferral payments, and the floor. You need the floor, right? You need the cap, and you need to kind of push this in somehow, right? And again, I don't care when you pay these guys, but when they're on the field, their contract has to count towards the cap for that year. So salary cap and floor, really, with deferrals actually counting towards the monetization or the payroll that year, I should say. That's me. So Greg says no deferrals, salary cap, home plate collisions back. I mean, yes. Home plate would be incredible. Home plate collisions back would be awesome. Ryan says the 10th inning runner has to go. Still annoys me.
I'm actually I'm another guy. Like I don't want to see that in the 10th inning. Like give me a couple innings of real baseball, then throw that in there to shorten the game. But that one gets a lot more hate than I ever thought it would get.
This is an interesting one. Highlights: home team must split TV money for each home game with their opponent. But isn't the away team also getting the same quote unquote broadcast though?
Well, yes and no. So like if you go to play the Yankees and it's on yes, you don't get a piece of that. There's no way to get that. You get your own TV money, but if you're the Padres and have nobody producing your TV, there's no TV money.
Yeah, I forgot about.
So you have like what is it 9? Is it 9 teams right now that have no TV deals, and the MLB is just producing it for them? Whereas like the Red Sox have NESN, the Yankees have Yes, and those are huge money makers.
Yeah. Frank says the relief pitcher having to face 3 batters has got to go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I don't hate that. I do hate that like it has taken a lot of the strategy out because lineups are now just going righty lefty to combat that, right?
Yeah.
So
totally.
I mean, so there still is a little bit of strategy when you bring your lefty in because you want your lefty to come in and face 2 out of the 3 guys that are left-handed and force the opposing manager to pinch hit a righty. Or just do it like the Red Sox and burn through 5 subs in 1 plate appearance. Did you see that the other day?
Yes.
Oh my God, man. Whatever. Anyways.
I wasn't even sure what was happening anymore. I lost track.
It was, God, that was bad. They were going to bring in a pinch hitter. They announced the pinch hitter, kept the pitcher in, then pulled the pitcher. They pulled that for Masataka walks, and then they pinch run hit. I was just like, what is going on, man? Crazy. But yeah, I agree with you, Frank. I think that needs to go. So,
Yep.
Debbie says, I agree not having a. I agree. Maybe having the salary floor has been such a problem.
Yeah, not having a floor is the problem. So teams
right,
going to go spend a bunch of less.
Yeah. So
no collisions. I need Baldy for 10 plus years.
I mean, fair.
There were some pretty epic collisions back in the day.
Random, but more day games.
I don't hate that. I love daytime baseball.
Yeah.
It's funny. Like I love when I check the schedules of the daytime game, because like what I'll do 9 times out of 10 is I'll have MLB TV, the radio feed up, and like I'll just listen to it on the radio. I love radio baseball. I always have. Like I'll go out and mow the lawn. I'll have a radio game go. I've always loved radio baseball.
Yeah. If I buy MLB TV, I get every game regardless. Amen. Preach it. Sing it to the heavens.
For sure Blackouts was on your list, Nick, and it wasn't.
I mean, it's just such an issue that like I can sit here and yell about for hours and it's not going to change. Like,
no,
but it's just the MLB TV thing kills me. You're paying for a subscription to get all of the games. Well, except for the ones you want to watch. Sorry. Like, wait, what? That part I don't get. Yeah, get rid of the universal DH. Okay, that's never going to happen. But Ryan's with the blackouts there. Don't use ghost runners in the playoffs. Don't use them in the regular season. I mean
on the ghost runner thing though, like I don't like the ghost runner because I to me it's like it's kind of a cheesy thing. Like you just randomly have a guy show up on second base. Fine. If you want to do that to limit games from going like 18 innings, then let them play the 10th and the 11th straight up, like real baseball. See if you can win it for real, and then bring the ghost runner out like in the 12th. But like give them a chance to win it the right way before you throw the ghost runner out there.
I get it, right? I mean, these guys, people just think that these guys show up at the park. You know, we don't. We understand what it takes to get ready for a baseball game, right? But your casual fan is like, why are we doing this? Because they're only on the field for 2 hours a game. Why can't they stay till the 18th inning and play? Guys, they get there at 8 o'clock in the morning. They're getting rubbed down by trainers. They're going through treatment. They hit the gym. They go out, take ground balls. They come back, get more treatment. They go out, they take rounds of BP. They come back, get more treatment. They go in the cage. They go out on the field to pregame stretch. They go warm up in the bullpen. Like these guys have already put in an 8-hour day, some of them, before first pitch even happens. And then you have another 4 to 5 to 6 hour baseball game. Like, and you do that 3 or 4 times in a week, dude, your team is smoked. So like, as much as it is gimmicky, I completely get it for the protection of the players. That's a lot of miles on those guys if you have 2 16-inning games in a week, especially if one's on a getaway day. So like as gimmicky as it is, and I totally get the outrage. I also get why they did it. They did it mostly for player safety and to get these guys on schedule to get them to their next games. And the umpires out of town for their next series. So I get it. Yeah.
I mean, the intent of it is fine. I wish they would wait just a little bit longer to use it.
Yeah.
Because no baseball. I mean, the average baseball fan does not want to see an 18-inning game. Like they don't have the attention span for that. They're going to bed. And we've seen it before in the past. Like I remember for many times these games would run 12, 13, 14 innings. They'd get in at like 4 o'clock in the morning, or they'd be getting in somewhere crazy early. They'd be sleeping for a little bit. They get out to the next day. The team looked like crap. They played terribly because they were exhausted. And then like that just sends off a chain reaction for that whole series where you look like garbage because you get in the middle of the night, first thing in the morning, you're trying to sleep. You can't, you're behind. And that's where you get things like you start to develop issues around exhaustion. You start to develop injuries because these guys aren't resting. They're not getting therapy because they're trying to sleep because they got in crazy late. Like, it just creates this horrible snowball effect. But at the same time, like, I'd like to see them try to win it straight up, but I get the purpose of the Ghost Runner, and it makes sense. Like, 18 inning games are good for nobody.
No, the fans are already gone home at that point. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, I remember watching a Red Sox game that went, I want to say it went 18 innings, and by the time the game ended at like 2:00 in the morning, freaking Fenway was empty.
Yeah.
People had left. They're like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't be here all night.
Well, they shut everything down in the bottom of the 7th too. So like, there's literally nothing.
You're there for 3 hours with 3 extra hours with no food.
Yeah.
You know, the beer's gone. You can't even get a bottle of water at that point.
Right. Yeah. So, Lex, I love this one. If you get more than 3 challenges right, you should be able to pie the umpire. That one's incredible.
Oh man, CB Buckner he'd have banana cream pie in his face every night.
Yeah, Chad, all new stadiums need a retractable roof. Now, I agree and disagree, right? Like, that would obviously help with rainouts. However, I think there's a bigger issue there. We look at Chase Field, we look at whatever Miller Park is now, what is it, All-American Family Field. They're starting to have issues with these, and they need maintenance, and the organization's pointing at the county to fix it, county's pointing at the organization to fix it, and they don't get fixed. And now we're looking at possibly having to just build a whole new one because it's too far beyond repair. I get it. It would get rid of rainouts, but then we run into bigger issues down the road. So
yeah, it gets rid of rainouts, and it gets rid of those really cold games in April and October. And like, it's a incredible luxury to have, but they are incredibly expensive to put in. They're very expensive to maintain. And the problem is when they fail, they don't fail like a little. They fail in an incredibly expensive way.
Yeah. But the pitching clock needs to be addressed because there's too many pitchers getting injured because of it. And maybe it's time to bring this back up, Harrison. Is the pitch clock, I know we have everyone's just throwing max effort all the time, but is the pitch clock also to blame for this increase of Tommy Johns?
Yes. I mean, the pitch clock, we have 2 problems in baseball. One, the way we teach pitchers to pitch has changed. Everything's max effort. It's, you got to throw 100. You got to throw as hard as you possibly can. So I think that's it. And with that comes the increased spin rate. Now you got to also spin it fast. Like, you got to throw everything as sharp as possible. The second piece is with the pitch clock. When guys get 7, 8, 9, 10 pitches deep into an inning and start to get a little bit tired, because believe it or not, pitching takes quite a bit of energy, and you can get tired doing it. But when you get into a slightly longer inning, more than just 9 or 10 pitches, you start to get past that point, and you don't have a chance to like get behind the mound, take a deep breath, get settled. As you get tired, your mechanics begin to get sloppy. And like watch a guy go in a 15 to 20 pitch inning and watch his mechanics on pitch 1 versus pitch 20. Like, you'll see where he's getting tired and where he's coming open. Now the lean has changed. And on top of these guys doing the worst thing possible, which is max effort, now you got guys who are also tired and sloppy with their mechanics, putting even more strain on their arms. And I think you've got both of those things working against you.
Yeah. Mr. Clam says, more Tommy Johns are happening before guys turned 18, has nothing to do with the pitch clock. I agree with that.
Yes.
The problem is we've created a culture where these guys need to be able to throw helicopters that go 98 miles an hour. It's unfair. Right. And I'm not saying it's just because of the pitch clock, but I think, like you said, Harrison, it's just an added thing that kind of compounds the problem.
Just makes it worse.
Right. You're going max effort, and it's just like, you got to get up and do it again in 8 seconds, buddy. Like, let's go. Like, you don't get any breaks. So I think it's just a kind of a combination of both coming together to a perfect storm that isn't great for pitchers' health. But it's not going to change because those guys are still going to get paid no matter what. So
yeah, and I think the bigger issue is exactly what Mr. Clams pointed out. It's the way we teach these guys to pitch.
Yeah,
it's all about spin rate and velocity, which are which are wrecking your arms. Then you throw the pitch clock on top of it, where now mechanics get a little sloppy, and you're just making a bad situation worse.
Yep. Michael says kids 8 and under get in for free.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. I don't hate that. Yeah, going back to the long days on the baseball field. Brian said, sounds like a horrible existence any one of us would love to go through. Come on now. I get it. All of us would love to have done that dream. But Greg, I like this one too. I would want them to do something so the regular season matters more. I hate how it feels like the only pure, true baseball we get is in the postseason because it's only time they try 100%. Now, I think that's what they tried to do with this wild card spot to get more teams into the playoffs. So it did matter more, right? You think about back in the days when there was just the two divisions and just the top two teams were in it. If those top two teams were running away with it in July, like why are the other teams even playing baseball at that point? So I think that's why they tried to bring in the wild card is to make it more relevant throughout the season. But I mean, we've talked about it a little bit with like the minor league split system or split season. You know, if you win the first half, you automatically get a bid to the playoffs now. And then they reset the, I don't know if they do this anymore. They used to. Then you reset the standings and you go for the second half. Do they do something like that?
I think the hard part that he's kind of getting at is, they only go like 100% out from the playoffs. And that's just the nature of a long season.
Mm-hmm.
These guys can't, you can't expect I pick a player, Matt Olson. Although he's a bad example because he does play every day. But you can't expect a guy like that to go, 100 miles an hour every day, day after day after day for 162 games. Matt Olson is an anomaly because he can do that. You look around the league at most of these guys, Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, these guys do it as much as they can. But at the end, like there are games, and we say it all the time, like there are games you can see guys downshift and coast because they're tired. They got a nagging injury. It's August and they're coming off of 9 games in 9 days. They're just dragging. And that's, I think look at the NFL, they play once a week and you get 100% effort because they got the one game and they got a whole week to recover. The NBA, they do play some back-to-backs, but like typically it's like a game day off, game day off, game day off. Similar with hockey, you don't have a ton of back-to-backs. Like there's a day off. So like when I go hard today, I know I got tomorrow off in most cases.
Right.
There's no tomorrow off in baseball. You might get one day a week off, and that's not even every week. Like I got to show up tomorrow and do this again. And then the day after that and do it again. And the day after that and do it again. And I think that's why these guys have to at times, I don't want to say take games off, but kind of coast for a game just because they don't have it. They don't have it that night.
Especially teams that are in the middle of like 12 or 13 game in a row stretches, which happens.
Brutal. Yeah.
I mean,
or you're on the other coast. You fly out and you hit 9 games in 9 days on the West Coast and you got to come back. It's like, it's brutal. And that's why I've said many times, like, I feel like those games played records, like Cal Ripken, those records, I think, are a little bit selfish because there are nights where you just ain't got it. And maybe you should just take a seat. Like
right.
it'd be better for you to take a day off when you're at 60% and you're gassed and let somebody else play who's fresh or fresher than to drag yourself out there again. Now, Cal Ripken at 60% was probably better than anybody on the bench. So, you can make that argument, but at the same time, there's not a lot of guys. The gap between the elite and the backup guy is not so big that taking a night off is going to kill the season.
Right. Yeah. 1,000% agree. So, kind of going back to the original question though, Harrison, what would you change for the next CBA?
So, I mean, I'm with you guys on the salary cap. The floor, I have a tougher time with because I think more importantly, you've got to figure out how to help these teams afford a floor. And that to me is where baseball's biggest issue is. A cap is great because it limits the top tier from going crazy, but you need to help the bottom teams come up so they can spend to that cap. Because even if you put a cap in, half the league can't afford to spend that cap. So I think for baseball, I think they have to go back to the basic economic model of baseball and the revenue share model and figure out how do we make this work. Maybe we need to do something different with TV deals. Maybe we need a different media pool of money. Maybe we need to look at how we handle merchandise, or is there some, do you split gates because some teams draw better than others? And I think you need to start to tear the economic model apart to help these teams at the bottom end be able to afford more. Because at that point, then you do put a floor in, but it's a higher floor to make them spend the money they get. Because everybody's afraid if you give the bottom tier more money, they just won't spend it. You have to create the carrot and the stick. I'll give you the carrot, but then I'm going to use the stick to make sure that I get the outcome that I want.
Right.
So to me, they have to get into the revenue share model and fix that. You need a salary cap. You need to fix the revenue share model before you can do a floor. And then you've got to do a floor. The other thing I like to see them change, the service time requirements. If you spend a day on the major league roster, it should count. No more of this wait to call a guy up until May because he only needs to have 30 games. If he misses 30 games, he doesn't qualify. None of that crap. If he belongs on the team, he should be on the team.
Yeah.
I hate the service time manipulation.
Yeah, it's stupid. And we had talked about it. We thought the last CBA, they were going to address that, but I think they didn't end up settling on it or something like that.
Yeah, they created incentives where, like, if you bring the guy up and he wins this award, or he's an all-star, or he's an MVP, or he's a rookie of the year, like, you get financial incentives. But teams are like, no, I want to make sure he's here the next season. Like, I'm going to wait. What are the chances he's going to win MVP anyways? He might win rookie of the year, but for what you're going to give me, it's going to cost me more to try to re-sign him. So I'm just going to wait.
Yeah. That's a good point. This is a good question, Ryan. This could come up in the next CBA. I could see them expanding rosters a couple spots. I really could. Just because of the arm issues. We've already seen them do it with pitchers, right? I think it's now, is it 27 now or 26? It was up from 25.
26.
I think 26.
Yeah, it was 25 for the longest time. They bumped it to 26.
Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if they put a couple extra spots on there just because of the increased injuries. So, yeah. But all right. Let's move on from that one and hit the next one.
All right. So I've read a bunch of articles lately on the Traject pitching machine, the one you see in the picture. This is the pitching machine that basically you can go in there and you can say, I want to face Justin Verlander. And you punch in all the details and he pops up on the screen and Justin Verlander pitches to you. That box slides up and down to change release points. It replicates spin rates. It replicates velocity. And you can also basically tell it how to pitch you. So I've read a ton of articles lately about how, Andy Pajes uses this machine the day of the games to get ready for the pitcher. Ohtani uses it before bats to prepare for the pitcher he's about to face. The Nationals have been using it for rehabbing players so that they can face guys they're going to see. So my question is, if I'm Shohei Ohtani and I can go downstairs or down in the clubhouse area and turn this thing on and face the guy I'm about to face in real time and set it to pitch me like he likely is going to, is it safe to say at this point the technology has gone too far when I can basically just go preview the at-bat I'm about to have?
I have no issues with this. Now, I might be in the minority. I don't know where people stand on this, but if you have the tools and it's not illegal, use the tools you got. I mean, listen, I'm going to have a better chance. Well, maybe not me personally, but I'm going to have a better chance to get a hit off Justin Verlander if I've seen him 30 times in the cage before I've seen him live in person. Now, listen, a machine still isn't going to replicate a live body, right? It isn't, but it sure certainly helps. So I have no issues with this at all. I would use this all the time if I was in their shoes. If I'm facing you, especially if I'm like 0 for 10 against you, Harrison, and I need to figure it out. Like, I'm not seeing your slider well. right? I need to see it. I might not even swing at it with this machine. I just need to see what it looks like coming out of your hand, right? So I personally have no issues with this at all. I think this is an incredible tool, and especially with the increased velocity that these guys got, I I need to see what Mason Miller looks like before I go up and poop my pants in the box when I actually see him. Right?
I don't think I want to see
mean,
Mason Miller on a screen, let alone in real life.
I mean, facts. But if I have any prayer in hell to hit these guys, I need to see something before, because I'm just not gonna see that. Right?
No, I mean the only way you're going to be able to face Mason Miller without facing Mason Miller is with technology like this. The only way you can actually get a preview of what Garrett Crochet's slider looks like is to actually have Garrett Crochet throw it to you, and this is as close as you're going to get to that. And I mean, I can only imagine what this technology would have been like back in the day if the guys in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s had it. I mean, this is new technology. The Nationals just got their unit in the beginning of this season, and their guys are swearing it's the best thing they've ever gotten, because they can literally go down there. They can get to the ballpark in the morning and go face today's starting pitcher 10, 15, 20 times. And so when they go to the field, they know what they're looking for. Like, they know what it looks like. Now, is it exactly the same as facing the guy live? No, nothing ever is. But you've at least seen the spin. You've seen the spin rate that a slider typically is at. You've seen his delivery. You've got your timing down. You've done everything but make him pitch to you. And that's where I think this starts to blur the line a little bit, is I can literally go face today's starting pitcher, the night before, the morning of, just before the game. Like, I can go face him as close to it being him as if he was there, and get a sneak peek at everything, because the system knows all their spin rates, all their velocities, their tendencies, their locations. You feed this AI system with all the information you want, and it pitches to you like you would expect the guy to actually pitch to you. And that's where I think this gets a little bit blurry, is you are effectively simulating the at-bats you're about to have. I think it's a great tool for hitters. But if I'm a pitcher, I'm going to be like, well, like, what the hell? Like, there's no, like, you've never faced me before, but you just faced me 20 times in the cage at like 90 to 95% accuracy as to what I'm going to have. I've lost any advantage of you not having seen me.
Yeah.
Because you just saw it all.
Curtis says, make a machine like that for the pitchers. just guys taking me deep the whole time. Yeah, I'd love that. Great confidence builder right there.
Oh man. But it's, so I think I don't have a problem with the technology, but as everybody has adopted this now, and players are like screaming its praise, and guys are, I mean, I think the question came from Mike Reed earlier, can they use it in game? There's no rule saying they can't. They're always allowed to go back down the tunnel to the cage. This is sitting in the cage. There's no, I mean, a guy like Ohtani, I'm sure when his team's out in the field and he's due up next inning, guaranteed he's down there taking swings off the pitcher he's about to face. Why wouldn't he be?
Right.
Like, that's what I'd be doing. Go get myself 2 or 3 at-bats against the guy I'm about to face.
Ryan says they'll see these day in and day out and still hit 221.
Well, that's the thing. Like, could you imagine if they didn't have this? Where would they hit? Like, how much of an advantage is it really? I mean, at the end of the day, you still got to put the bat on the ball, but there's never been a situation where you can basically face a pitcher without facing the pitcher.
Yeah. Greg says, random thought, but I wonder if there's a version of this that can do submarine pitchers. I mean, that box looks like it drops pretty low.
It does. It slides all the way down. So if they're pitching from like their knees, it'll get it.
Yeah, Taylor Rogers, right? Tyler Rogers.
Yeah, I don't think it can quite go. It does sit up higher, so I think you can actually like have the release point drop even further, but I don't think you can go like true submarine. Yeah, but I don't know. But that whole panel just slides up and down to change the release point.
Yeah,
and it also changes pitch to pitch if guys are known to change their release points. Like, you're getting an accurate view of where his curveball comes out versus his fastball.
Right. Chad says, I agree, no issues with this. Where technology has gone too far is a replay. Calling a guy out, stealing a base because you can slow the replay speed down 10,000 times and his hand comes off the base by a half a millimeter or less than 0.2 of a second is insane. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Can the Red Sox get this for defense?
Oh, geez. Could you? I mean, no, what they need is Ron Washington or Tom Amansky, but
yeah. Are we gonna revisit the golden at bat or whatever they were calling it? That one had me on the fence hard. Yeah,
the bananas do that. I mean, maybe MLB is going to do it too.
Yeah. What about an ephus pitch? I'm sure they can set the. I'm sure.
They just put it on. They turn on the Moyer setting.
Right. And yes, Red Sox diehard. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you back. But yeah, our Red Sox are bad. But yeah,
Beautiful might actually be the nicest thing we've said about them tonight.
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have zero issues with this. I really do. I don't think there's. I mean, you still got to hit the ball, right?
You do.
So
you do, but and now you're utilizing AI to simulate pitchers, and this is where things start to get a little fuzzy. Is we went from having like the stat sheets to the books to the videos to the videos kind of broken down from different angles to 57 million angles to now this where you can basically just go in and punch in who you want to punch in the name of the guy you want to play or face, and he's going to pop up on the screen and pitch to you.
Yeah,
I don't have a problem with the technology, but I do think we're kind of moving to that point of we're starting to blur the lines a little bit between like what is taking an advantage and putting it clearly on one side versus the other. I mean, with the decline of batting average, you could argue that maybe this doesn't make any damn difference because they still can't hit the guys. But the flip side of it is they're still scoring as many runs or more as they had before. You're seeing more home runs. So is that the difference? Is guys are going up there knowing what to cue in for so they can just launch one. The thought on it might be different.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, right? When we had Jim Rowe back on, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, they're restitching the tendon, they're stapling the tendon to Curt Schilling's bone, and he's sitting there with his paper notebooks, like his old like school notebooks with all the notes he made himself on the hitters he was about to face while they're just stapling a tendon to his ankle bone, right? That's what they had for technology then. Then we see hitters, they pop up on a pitch right down the middle. What's the first thing they do when they get to the dugout? They go straight to the iPad and they're looking, they're like, oh, yep, dip my shoulder there, or just was out in front and got the bottom half of the ball, right? This is another step in that direction. But again, to like Michael just said, like this, you still need to square up a round ball with a round bat. And no matter, like, you're telling this machine to pitch me in this quadrant. So I know where that pitch is going, right? When you're in the box, yes, you can see the pitch, but you don't know which quadrant it's going. So like there's still, as much as it's nice to see the pitcher beforehand, you're still not seeing him.
Not entirely true, because I believe you can tell it how to pitch to you. So like you can actually, so it's AI. So you can basically give it the scouting report, which says this guy's going to throw you, 2 seamers in, sliders away, and this one up, and it's going to mix and match. Like it's going to approach you like a real at bat.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm not standing in the box for that. I've seen what AI spits out.
Yeah. Well, and I have to laugh. Somebody here's like, I don't trust any machine throwing 100 miles an hour. It's like, I don't blame you, but like you can actually have this thing approach you like with scouting reports, and I do believe that's part of what Jason Varitek did as the game plan guy. Like he was basically setting these guys up to go hit today's pitcher with a scouting report of how they should be pitched.
Yeah.
So like it's not just like throw me sliders down in the way. It's like, no, you're going to throw these 4 pitches. Here's a scouting report of how these guys are likely to approach me. Now go simulate that. Yeah. It's like you're getting the fastball up and in to start, and the slider down in the way, and the curveball down, and the changeup that rides back on the plate. And like I believe it's actually simulating, from what I read, it's like simulating a real at bat.
Yeah. Frank, this would be an interesting one. This could be a
Yeah.
good thing to be discussed during the CBA, that batters can't go down into the cage inside the park like during games to use the AI technology. Yeah, use it before the game all you want, but you can't, you've struck out twice. You can't go down in the cage and, see a third, fourth, fifth at bat and make an adjustment. I mean, sure, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
put some guidelines in place. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, because keep in mind, this technology is only 2 or 3 years old. It really wasn't even part of the last CBA. It didn't exist yet. So again, like, the pace of change is so fast that the game is kind of having to adapt on the fly. It's like, cool, this is new technology. It comes in and it's like, well, what are the rules for it? We don't know. But we can't tell you can't buy it.
Yeah. I saw 100 once just standing near the plate. I wanted my mommy. It's something, man. If you have not seen 100 miles an hour up close, it is something.
Oh, and
It's different.
You don't really see it, you more hear it. It's a pop.
Yeah.
Pop.
It's the sizzle with no seams that gets me.
Yeah.
Right? Man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got hit in the right calf. I got out of the way of it partially, but not fully, by a kid throwing 97, and my calf exploded.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure you can still read with the ball, like the tag of the ball, like the label's still on my calf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild, but yeah, I don't personally at this moment. Now, like we said, this technology is already outdated, right? The cell phones you all have in your pocket are outdated, right? They're already 2 or 3 generations ahead of you. They just haven't released it yet, right? Yeah. Same thing with this. Like, this is already outdated. They already have something bigger and better. Until then, I don't have an issue with this particular model.
Yep. Chad, sound like a banging trash can when you tell it to throw a fastball. Is only a machine in Houston do that. That's the Houston special.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the Daikin Deluxe. They only send that to Houston.
God, that name is still so awful.
It's awful.
Daikin, man.
So, all right. So, let's have some fun looking at April. So, who, and I say who, it can be an individual player, it can be, a team, it can be a pitching staff, whatever you want to go. You're free to choose. But who has had the worst start to the 2026 season?
It's the Red Sox for me. Hands down. It's everything we said earlier. It is the entire roster of the Boston Red Sox, all of it. And Mets are right behind him. Brian says it, Mets, all of them. It's Mets and Red Sox for me. They're both absolutely nowhere near where the expectations were from everybody. Experts, fans, casual fans, diehard fans. No one saw these starts coming from these two teams. Individually, I mean, the guy you got in the picture was off to a pretty dreadful start. Cabrian Hayes, I mean, but it doesn't surprise me. The dude's never been able to hit. I mean, no. But yes, dreadful. God, man, I just, yeah, it's Mets and Red Sox for me. Individually, I can't really think of anything other than Cal's really slow start. But yeah, Ryan says Mets spent a mint not to just miss the playoffs, but looking like to not even sniff. It's wild.
Yeah.
Frank says Orioles have had their injury plague.
Yeah.
Mets, no doubt, from John Temple. Mariners look like they're missing swag, but it's not quite depth comp 4 yet. Well, even the Phillies are pretty far off from their expectations right now. Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, the Blue Jays are up there, but that's injuries, right?
It's all injuries.
Yeah, it's not necessarily their level of play, just really, really tough luck. But it's Mets, Red Sox, and Phillies, and you can pull the name out of the hat for the worst start. But that's me.
Yes, like other names that come to mind for me, I think that there were big expectations for Jesus Luzardo in Philadelphia. He's been pretty awful. They were really excited. I mean, I was excited to see him in a second season. with Philadelphia, and it's been not good.
And he got
Obviously,
that extension too, right?
I know they paid the man, and
Yeah.
then it kind of fell apart. I mean, obviously, the guy pictured, Cal Raleigh, has been off to a terrible start. He's just trying to do too much. Nobody expected him to do what he did last year again. And it's like every swing he's trying to like fix what's happened for like the whole week before. He just has to go up there and go back doing what he did. Other huge disappointments for me, Raffy Devers. We've already talked about him. I mean, the Giants thought he would be the guy that bolstered that offense. Since getting there, he has not been.
No.
Josh Naylor has also been disappointing. He and Cal both having tough starts really has screwed that offense badly. You look across the Red Sox, it's everybody. Trevor Story especially, Jarren Duran especially. Duran was a guy that we thought would be a perennial, guy in the MVP conversation, and not looking like it.
No.
So, I mean, I think you look around, there's lots of disappointments. I mean, another one that we haven't talked about, but the Yankees just sent Volpe down to AAA, basically said, it's Caballero's position. You're out of here, kid. Yeah. That's a pretty big deal considering he was supposed to be the shortstop of the future, and they don't think he belongs on the major league roster anymore.
I mean, his play has not defended his playing time at the MLB level. Let's be honest.
Goodness gracious, no. He has gotten worse every single season.
Yeah. It's because no one will let him play third base. Devers thinks he's Brooks Robinson. He's more like Mel Brooks. Awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, individually is hard. I mean, other than the names that you said, I can't think of anybody else that's just
Ryan Bayo.
Oh, I mean, I was gonna put in a slide about him, but I thought we had Brian Bayo needs to go down to AAA.
He's terrible.
Or just flat out release him.
He might be one of the guys with the best stuff I've ever seen that can't get anybody out.
It's bad.
Just way too many mistakes. Everything, and he'll look so good for an inning or two, and then just implode. Drives me crazy.
Frank says here in Baltimore, the milkman Colton Cowser has been a big disappointment this year. Yeah,
I mean, Pete Alonso was off to a pretty terrible start.
Yeah.
I mean, he really hasn't. I mean, he's still hitting some home runs, but like he's still sitting at 205. He's not turned it around.
No. Highlight says my entire fantasy team: Friedel, McLean, Bueller, Azuna, Littell. But
yeah, I mean, Bregman is showing slight signs of improvement, but given what the money you just gave that man, he's been a disappointment to start the year. The Cubs have been good without him, though.
Yeah, Brian says, are we going to address the fact that Arenado is completely washed?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still taking him defensively, but offensively, he's streaky as hell, and the streaks aren't long.
But at the same time, like, here's a guy who's currently sitting at 276, 5 home runs, 17 RBIs. I mean, it's not great, but he's better than all the guys we just talked about.
Yeah.
Like he's still, I think Arenado's the point in his career. He's now basically kind of an average offensive third baseman and still a very good defender. And because of that, he's still in the mix for guys that should be out there every day.
Yeah. His 30 and 100 seasons are over. We're not going to see that again out of Arenado.
No, he's a 20 and 80 guy now. That's who he is. He's 15 to 20 with 75 to 80 and very good defense.
And in that lineup, he's going to put some RBIs on the board for that Diamondbacks team. There's guys always on base.
I don't know that I can go with him being washed. I think he's definitely fading. I think you're seeing a guy who's, what is he, 30? Yeah, 35. You're seeing a guy who is fading. He's in his last 2 or 3 seasons, and he's kind of on the way out. But you're right. His defense has not been great to start the year. Not as good as it usually is.
Yeah.
But the sad part is he's still better than a lot of third basemen out there. So, but I think
Staying.
I
Oh,
think
go ahead.
washed, no, but on the way down, absolutely.
Yeah. Staying with the Diamondbacks, though, my boy has had kind of a tough struggle of lately. Ketel Marte he's hitting 223.
Yeah.
He does have 5 homers, but you usually don't really see a 223 batting average out of him. Quite a few Ks already this year. He had a really tough series against the Cubs. Watch that.
Yeah.
He's just not quite what he has been the last couple of years to start. Now, he can find it and just absolutely destroy, just like everybody else in that lineup. But
Well, it's the same thing for Perdomo. Perdomo's off to a really terrible start.
he's coming back from injury. That's from him.
He is, but
yes,
it's the numbers aren't good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's a bunch, but for me, it's more of the teams that are off to the worst starts than it is individually, because these guys are pros. And even if they're off to horrendous starts, more time than not, they'll get hot and they'll be 17 for 22 and, back-to-back series. And you're like, oh, there he is. And then he's back to where he usually is, right? I mean, that just happens. That's baseball.
Yep.
Right? Sometimes the ball looks like a pea, and other times it looks like a beach ball. That's the game. But
when you're facing Mason Miller, it looks like nothing because nobody can seem to see it or hit it.
Dude, I saw him close out the game this afternoon, and it was just, I mean, God, it's not even fair.
Yeah, Mike Reed nailed it.
CB Buckner had the worst start of the season. Not wrong. God, he is horrendous.
Yeah, it's not good. And that's like, this is actually this is a good point, Frank. I think we haven't talked about Acuna and all this, but Acuna's not looked great. Bat looks a little slow. It's still early. He's a guy that tends to heat up as the weather does, but he looks off. Something not right with his game right now.
The Giants just called up Bryce Eldridge.
Oh, nice.
Just got the report right now.
They were rumored to be planning it because they need something because that offense is awful.
Yeah. Can we name Corbin Carrollton Mr. Triple? That dude just tears apart Chase Field. Any ball down the line, it's a triple for Corbin Carroll. It's crazy. So fast. But yeah, I mean, there's some great ones that you guys said, that you said, Harrison. But like I said, just to cap it off, for me, it's the 3 teams as a whole. Those 3 are just gross. Gross.
Yes, but Acuna pulled a hammy and is out. Oh man.
Well, it's gonna.
At least it wasn't a knee. He seems to like to really damage knees.
Yep.
So all right. Last one for tonight, Nick. So not necessarily who's off to the best start, who's the most surprising, but who is the new must-watch player in 2026? Who's that one guy you're like, oh man, I got to put that game on. I want to see him play.
I already mentioned him earlier this show. It's Shea Langoliers for me. He is one of the most underrated sluggers right now. And when he's in the box, I need to watch his at-bats. He makes that Sacramento ball field look like a Little League field. And he's got 2 hits every game, hits the ball all over the ballpark, hits it out of the ballpark. It's Shea Langoliers, and I'm with Mike Mason Miller. Those are the 2 guys where I'm like, if I see their names pop up on the box score, I'm flipping to that game immediately. Yeah, it's those 2 guys for me.
Yeah, and Ryan, this is a great point. Jordan Walker has arrived. Finally, Jordan Walker has arrived.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago, though, I still wasn't sold on, or I still haven't bought Jordan Walker, right? Because of the inconsistencies of the past few years with him. We've brought it up a couple of times.
Nick, inconsistency. The guy didn't do jack for 3 years.
Well, but that's what I mean.
It's a compliment.
Okay, fair. But like what I'm talking is like he came up and burst on the scene with like a 12 or 13 game hitting streak, and you're like, oh man, this kid is damn good. and then nothing. But so good to see him turn it around. But is that who he is? I mean, I sure hope so.
Well,
But I
it's
just
who they
don't
thought he
know.
was back in 2023, and he
Yeah.
just hasn't materialized.
I think I just need a little bit more of a sample size with Jordan Walker, but his start has been incredible to watch for sure.
Yeah, this is the guy they thought they were getting when they brought him up, and he had in 2023 he had a good season. 24 wasn't good. 25 was really not good.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought he was done and they should just move on.
Yeah.
And then this year he showed up.
Frank, this is a great one. Jeremiah Jackson. No one had heard of this guy before he just started tearing the major leagues apart. So that's a great one. Flat cheese, Connor Griffin, Nolan McLean. Yep, 1,000%. Nolan McLean, the movement he gets on his pitches is just not right. It's not right. Crazy.
Yep. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, Cole Young is killing it at second base, and he leads MLB in defensive run saves.
And he was a guy that kind of came up with not a lot of fanfare. It was kind of like, hey, we think this guy's going to be pretty good.
Yeah,
all the attention was on other players, and he's been fantastic.
Yeah, Greg, we talked about Murakami earlier. Yeah, he has been unreal to watch. O'Neal Cruz, #1 must see, because you see flashes of greatness and still a lot of bonehead plays every single game. That's fair.
He's an adventure, that's for sure.
I'll take Jordan Walker and his 34 points this week for my fantasy team. Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody's agreeing with you. Jordan Walker's must-see TV right now. So, yeah. But, well, yeah, he knows he's playing every day and he won't be sent down. He's settled in, and it shows defensively too. Yeah.
And some guys they just need some time to adjust to that level and to get comfortable that they belong there.
Right.
And I think that's part of it. Like, he was always looking over his shoulder, wondering, because it's one of those, like, and we heard Mark Rogers talk about, like, when you struggle a little bit, like, you start wondering, like, am I going to stay? When am I going to get sent down? Is this the end for me? Like, there's a lot until you start to perform. There's a lot of second guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. Curtis, Jose Soriano has had some Cy Young stuff this start. So, absolutely. Yeah, Ellie's a must-see just because he's so electric. I kind of agree with that. Cruz is the worst good player I've ever seen.
Well, and Ellie De La Cruz is kind of in that bucket of, and I mean, he's off to a good start, don't get me wrong, but like, he's that guy that you always expect more from based on the talent, and then you're like always kind of like, that's it? Like, there's not more there? And again, off to a very good start. I hope he keeps it up. But he's an interesting one for me.
Yep. JJ Weatherholt for sure. He's come up with some big hits for that Cardinals team too. So
yeah. Nobody's mentioned Sal Stewart in the picture, but like, I find Sal Stewart to be exciting because, like, they had that double steal, was it like a week ago, and even Terry Francona's like, I'm not sure what he was doing. I got to go talk to him, but it was an incredible play. But he knows he can't make that last out at third, but he didn't. But he even had like Terry Francona like all twisted up because he's
then he scored on a
double steals.
Then he scored on a wild pitch. So then he was just like, I couldn't be mad at him, but I still needed to talk to him about it.
But when you have Tito Francona like all twisted up because you're doing things that he doesn't expect, it's certainly interesting.
Yeah. No, I think as much as we said that there's guys struggling, I think there's a lot more players that are having great seasons that we can rally around and really enjoy watching. So I think that's cool. And it's different guys on different teams that are making it fun around the league. It's not just the Dodgers. It's not just the Yankees. Like, you can tune into a random Pirates and Reds game and be like they played a 1-0 game today, and it was a damn good baseball game.
Yep.
Right. So I mean, there's a lot to be said about the young kids in the game. There's a lot of great talent coming in that are in pretty damn good ball players. So
yeah. And I think two other players aren't necessarily brand new players that are worth watching, but Andy Pages, after the after the postseason debacle that he had and the disaster that was for him, he's been maybe the Dodgers' best hitter to start the season.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been fantastic. And we've seen a bit of a resurgence from Mike Trout, which has been nice to see. Again, like 10 home runs, 21 RBIs, typical Mike Trout, like nobody's on base when he hits a home run, but it's nice to at least see what looks like the Mike Trout of old with a little bit of energy back.
It's just crazy that Mike Trout's going to end the year with 50 bombs and have 67 RBIs.
It's literally 10 home runs, 21 RBIs.
Oh, still that 40 and 80 season's the one that will always stick in my head, man. 40 and 80.
Yeah, 39 and 79.
God,
he had a 39 and 79 year, a 33 and 72, a 41 and 90, a 30 and 83, a 40 and 80. I mean, some of these numbers don't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah, Frank on the West Coast, Gavin Sheets been clutch all year off the bench for the Padres. Padres are pulling the right strings now, man. They're playing good baseball. I don't find myself watching much of them unless it's the ninth with Mason Miller coming in. Really the only time I watch them. But again, it's just kind of a team. I don't really care for their style that much. Although Bogarts has been red hot the last week or so. So I don't know. Yeah, Kyle Tucker. I forgot he played for the Dodgers. Haven't heard a peep about him.
Yeah, he had that walk-off for them 4 or 5 nights ago. And other than that, it's been he's hitting 238. He's done nothing for them.
Yep. But, that's what $126 million a year gets you nowadays is a 236 average.
Yeah, with one big hit.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, it's bad. Bad.
Yeah. But, yeah, those are all good ones. I love that. So, good ones. Oh, follow the path tonight, huh, Harrison?
Yeah, so we've been experimenting with some new stuff the last couple of go-rounds. Now we're going to go back to some of the tried and true stuff. But if you guys have been liking the Guess Who and the Two Truths and a Lie and some of the new stuff we've been playing with, just let us know in the comments. We'll keep doing them. If you hate them, we won't. But just trying to mix it up, bring some new stuff out. But these are always fun, so I figured I'd bring these back. So this go-around, I went with, these are all players, pretty much all players we mentioned on the show in like the last week. These are some of the White Sox guys we threw out when we did the timer or we did the random team pick. These are just some guys that have come up lately that I've just kind of kept track of and threw on here. So let's see how we do.
All right.
So first one up, Ray Durham, follow the path. Started his career with the Chicago White Sox, then went here, then went to the Giants before finishing up with the Brewers. So where was his second stop?
I'm pretty sure I know this one. I think. I'm pretty sure I might possibly know.
I'm so glad you're so certain, Nick.
I know.
That's one thing I love about you. You're so certain. Yes.
Okay. So Minnesota is a good guess, not Minnesota. Yes, Michael, it is the Athletics for sure. Nice. Yep, Mike Reed got it. Oakland.
Back in the days of Oakland.
Yep. Nice one. All right.
So next up, follow the path, Mark Burley. So he started his career with the White Sox. Then he went here before finishing his career in Toronto. Where was the second stop?
I know he's... Oh, go ahead.
Well, a lot of people don't remember him being here because it just doesn't make any sense.
Right. And that's why I remember it. So...
Yeah, it's like it's one of those like random ones. You're like, yeah.
It's the Carlos Delgado, if you will.
Exactly. It's like he went there, really?
Yeah.
You almost don't believe it.
Yeah, everybody got it. It is indeed Miami. Ryan got it. Mike got it. Frank got it. Nice job. John Temple. Burger King. Not quite. Michael. I mean, he could have gone there in Florida, but yeah, nice job.
And he was decent in Miami too. team just wasn't very good, but he was good.
Yeah, nice. You guys were all over that one. Nice job. Marlins. Went to the Marlins.
Good old Marlins. All right. Follow the path with Paul Konerko. So Paul Konerko started his career where? Before going to the Cincinnati Reds and then finishing up with the Chicago White Sox. So where did he start?
It is White Sox in my head, and that's it.
I know, right?
Goodness gracious. Ryan says
his the first 2 years of his career, he was other places.
Really? We're all over the board here, so I'm gonna
I
wait
love it.
and then
Yeah, we'll give this one a minute. Burley had a BK body for sure. Ryan. Body built by Burger King. Nice.
Man. Well, the Dodgers seem to be, we have Indians, we have Dodgers. Scott says the Dodgers. Frank says the Dodgers. John's guessing the Twins. We got Dodgers now coming in. Here we go. Frank, Curtis, Michael. So yeah, I guess it's the Dodgers. I never would have guessed that.
It was the Dodgers.
It is White Sox only for me in my brain with Paul Konerko.
Yeah, he spent the first season and a half with the Dodgers. They basically dumped him to the Reds, and then he signed with the White Sox, or ended up with the White Sox, and then finally turned into the guy that they thought he'd be.
Dang. Yep. Dodgers not in my head at all. That's crazy. Yep. Good one.
Yeah,
that's a great one.
That one was fun because even I looked at it and went, man, I don't really remember those stops because it's all White Sox. Yeah. But all right, next one here. Follow the path with Carlos Quinton. He started his career in Arizona with the Diamondbacks. Then he moved on to the Chicago White Sox before he finished his career here. So where was the last stop?
Pretty sure I know this one too.
This one I did not remember.
Oh. Okay, so now I'm not so confident.
Yeah, this one I was like, oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I'm with you, Frank, on this one. That's where my head went. It went to the dads.
Yeah, I thought he finished with the White Sox and that was it. Like I don't remember him going somewhere else.
Yeah, Brian said Orioles. Mike Reed says Houston. Frank says the Padres. Silic says the Padres. John Temple's with the Padres. Yeah, that's where my mind went to. So here they come. So Michael and Curtis all Padres. So Padres.
It was the Padres.
The answer.
Spent the last 2 years of his career, or I guess the last 3 years of his career there, but this last season was 50 games. So
most career home runs by a player whose last name starts with Q. You're welcome.
And they pretty much all came in Chicago because he didn't do much in San Diego.
Yeah, the total's like 147 or something like that. It's not much.
Yeah, he hit 107 of the 154 in Chicago.
154.
Yeah, 33 in San Diego and 14 in Arizona.
Yeah.
Nice. So did most of his damage in Chicago, which is why it's all I think of when it comes to him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, follow the path with Ozzie Guillen. So we talked about Ozzie being moved into the White Sox Hall of Fame. So follow his career path here. So he started off with the White Sox, where most of us remember him. Then he moved on to the Baltimore Orioles. Then he went here before finishing his career at the Rays. So who was the third stop?
I do know this one. We all watched him quite a bit.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, of course you would get it, Michael.
Yeah,
that is correct.
There for a couple seasons, didn't do a lot, but
I mean,
wasn't bad.
He didn't do a lot as a player, period. I mean, he was just a solid defensive guy that would spray hits around the yard. I mean, so
yeah, Silix knew he was going to get that right away.
Yeah, absolutely. The Bravos. Nice. Michael got it. Curtis got it. But he probably spent a few seasons at the local dive bar. Yeah.
Probably.
Nice. Yeah. Frank got it. Braves. Nice. Cool.
All
Oh,
right,
here we
one.
go. Love
There we
this
go.
one.
So follow the career path, Vada Pinson. So after talking to his son, I'm like, let's break down his career. So here we go. Started his career with the Cincinnati Reds, as we all know. Then moved on to the Cardinals. Then moved on to the Indians before he went here and then finished up with the Kansas City Royals. Where was the fourth stop?
And if you saw our interview, he told us a pretty cool story of when he was at this stop. So
That's why I picked this one.
yeah, that was an awesome story.
Yep. So yeah, so if you pay attention to the show, you will know the answer to this question.
Yep.
If you sleep through it like Michael does, you won't.
You can't help it, man. He's old. It's past his bedtime.
It's way past his bedtime.
Yeah, he goes to Denny's at 3:30 and he's in bed by 4. I mean, let's be honest.
Totally.
Yeah.
John, I wasn't where I needed to take notes.
Awesome.
And Silix, you're right. The Braves always prided themselves on good shortstop defense.
Yes.
Most of those guys couldn't hit, and that was always their thing.
Yep. But yes, guys, nice job. We got
some
twins
and Angels in there.
Yeah, it is in fact the Angels. He told the story. Vada Pinson III told us the story about his sisters sending him down to the clubhouse to get all the Bazooka Joe bubble gum off the snack table, and Frank Robinson picking him up by the ankles and dumping it all out of his socks and pockets and stuff, which was an awesome story. So
Yep.
that was pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen that interview, it's a couple shows back. It was awesome to sit down and talk to Vada and what he's trying to do for his father, and rightfully so. I mean, join his page. The stats that like him and his fans find for him about his father are insane. It's pretty cool, and he should get some consideration from the Veterans Committee to get into the Hall. He really should. He was unreal.
I'm going to drop the link to his Facebook just in case you guys didn't get it during the show, but he's definitely worth a follow. Great stuff over there.
Yeah. All right. Next one.
All right. So along those same lines, let's just go talk about Frank Robinson. So follow the path of Frank Robinson. Started his career with the Cincinnati Reds. Moved on to the Baltimore Orioles. Then moved on to the Dodgers. Then to the Angels before finishing up his career here. So where did Frank Robinson finish his career?
Pretty sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yep. Okay. All I had to do was wait 5 seconds. You guys would have. Yep. Cleveland Indians. Good. Yeah. So Curtis, Scott, Frank, Michael. Got it. Player manager.
Yes, and you stole my thunder because he was also there as a player manager, which I thought was a cool stat, a cool fact.
Yeah, John Temple, Hall of Fame. Yeah, we'll accept it.
It doesn't matter where he went after that. He was already on his way.
Yeah, we'll accept it. Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah. We'll accept it. Hall of Fame / Indians will accept it.
Yeah. He took a little pit stop in Cleveland on his way to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we'll accept it.
Yeah. Pretty awesome.
So yeah, he went to the Indians where he was a player manager before hanging him up.
Awesome.
All right. Next up, Alex Cora, who's now looking for a job. If you're looking for a manager, Alex Cora is available. Anyways, so follow the path with Alex Cora. Started his career with the Dodgers, then moved on to the Indians, then came to the Red Sox, then went here before going to the Rangers and then finishing up his career with the Nationals. Where was the fourth stop?
Well, after the Red Sox, it's the couch, right? So the unemployment line. Yeah, Brian's kind of beat me to it. Yeah, the couch.
Actually, it should be Red Sox couch, right? Because he took the year off of the suspension.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, Frank, that was my thoughts. That was my thoughts too. For some reason, that team's sticking on my head with him after Boston, but
We got some Seattles in the chat. We've got Michael says, "Who
Michael
cares?"
says,
Also
who
true.
cares? Yeah.
I mean, Michael, this is our trivia. Obviously, you should care.
Yeah.
Yeah, John, you're right. Joey was Seattle.
Joey Cora was Seattle. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm with Frank on this one in the Mets and Curtis. I'm sticking with them. The Mets is sticking in my head for some reason. So
Well, it's
I'm
a good
going
thing
with
you're
them.
following the people in chat that are right, because it was the Mets.
Oh, okay. Yeah. John Temple said Queens too, but yeah. Hard to follow those utility guys because they literally can play anywhere for anyone at any time.
They can. But they tend to always find a job because they do something that you need. But he was, he was actually pretty good with the Mets. Played there more than he played in some other stops, but yeah, it's hard because these guys do tend to bounce around.
Yeah. Career-wise,
which Cora was less horrible? I mean, I'll take Joey over Alex any day.
I loved Joey Cora. My love for him started with WGN Friday Night Baseball with the White Sox. You got the Cubs all week, and you got the White Sox Friday night. I love that team. Joey Cora, Tim Raines, Frank, Robin Ventura, Karkovice, Lance Johnson, Ozzie Guillen, Bo Jackson. I mean, Jack McDowell. Man, loved Roberto Hernandez. Loved that team.
Yeah.
Man, it was a turn back the clock right there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Follow the path with Juan Gonzalez. Started his career with the Rangers. Then he moved on to the Tigers. Then he went here before going back to the Rangers. Then to Kansas City before finishing up his career in Cleveland. Where was the third stop?
Texas Tigers. Huh.
And at this stop, he finished 5th in the MVP voting. He was really good.
Did he go? Was this his first? Did he have 2 stints in Cleveland?
I don't know. Did he?
Yeah. I don't remember him with the Tigers. That's the one that's kind of like throwing me off. So like, and then in 98 must have been the second Texas stint would be my guess. I'm thinking he was with Cleveland in the middle of his career. I'm trying not to look at chat right now because I'm just trying to rack my own brain.
Chat's kind of all over the place too.
I'm sticking with Indians. For some reason, that's sticking like in the middle of his career, he was there. So I'm going with that. So we got Orioles, we got Oakland, we got Balco, we got Cleveland, Indians, Royals. Yeah, Ryan, like Sierra was Oakland, second guessing. So we're split between, I'd say, the Orioles and the Indians. Indians sticking in my head. What do we got? Oh, heck yeah. Lucky guess on my part.
Yeah. It was Cleveland the first time. He was a monster there. In that season, he hit 325, 35, and 140 and finished 5th in the MVP voting.
See, I knew he was with Cleveland, but having it at the end threw me for the loop because I was like, oh, crap. Well, maybe it was there that he did.
Yeah, well, it's kind of funny because like he went back to Cleveland in 2005. He played one game.
Oh, okay.
Had one at bat, and that was it. Yeah. So it was like a nothing at the end.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
And Kansas City, he was. I want to say Mike Reed said he didn't remember him in Kansas City. He went to Kansas City in 2004 and played 33 games. He was at that point he was limping to the finish line of his career.
Yeah,
but like when you think of Juan gone, it's all Rangers.
Yeah,
like
most yeah.
He did most of his damage with the Rangers
for sure.
But here's a guy. 434 career home runs, 1,400 RBIs, 295 batting average, 2 MVPs, 6 Silver Sluggers, 3 All-Stars, no Hall of Fame. I think
Well,
we've talked on the show, like, multiple MVPs should cement you into the Hall of Fame. Nope, it doesn't.
well, I mean, that's prime steroid era.
I mean,
109,
yes.
109 RBIs before the All-Star break. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That,
1998, 45 and 157.
yeah, exactly. And he finished, what, 26th in home runs that year at 45?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it is what it is with that era until they start letting those guys in.
Yeah, he had 3 seasons of 140 or more RBIs.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot.
Bananas what he did.
Well, those Rangers teams were also loaded.
Well, yeah, there's guys on base always.
Yeah.
Always.
I agree.
So, all right, last one for tonight. Follow the path with Miguel Tejada. Start his career with the Athletics. What are you laughing about?
I don't have a prayer in this one. I just picked one of the teams that's not on there.
All right. You're laughing threw me off. So, all right, Miguel Tejada, follow the path. Started his career with the Oakland Athletics, then moved on to the Orioles, then went to the Houston Astros, then went back to the Orioles, then went to the Padres, then went here before finishing in Kansas City. Where was the 6th stop?
Rockies, Marlins, Diamondbacks. Those are the only 3 teams he didn't play for.
California Penal League.
Mike Reed says the White Sox. I mean, it could literally be anybody. This one lost. Pretty much when he left Baltimore the second time, I lost Miguel Tejada. I have no idea. Curtis saying the Giants. Ryan Taylor saying the Mets. Frank says the White Sox. John Dowd says the Twins. Man, another Giants. I mean, it could be. But like I said, after that second stint with Baltimore, I pretty much lost Miguel Tejada. So
yeah, he kind of went all over the place. He had a good run in Houston, and then finished up his career with those last 4 stops. Kind of all partial seasons.
Yeah. But again, I mean, you think about it from where we are on the East Coast, right? The A's were relevant when he was on that team. Yep. We saw him play in Baltimore because of the Red Sox. In Houston, we see him win the home run derby at Minute Maid Park or Enron Field, whatever it was at the time that he wins the home run derby. Yep. Saw him there. We see him back in Baltimore, Boston. And then at that time, when they went to the West Coast, we lost him completely. Yeah. Like there was no way to see him. So, yeah.
After Baltimore, Tejada lost Miguel Tejada.
Well,
I mean, you're not wrong.
That's fair. So the chat majority is Giants. So we got a couple White Sox, but the majority says Giants. So let's see. Yeah. Giants.
And it was.
Nice one, guys. Nice.
Yeah, he had an okay season for the Giants, but he was really basically from his return to Baltimore on, he was just kind of limping along to the finish.
Yeah. So Silic, Scott, Michael, and Curtis got that. Giants. Nice work, fellas.
The really tall guys. Good guess, Michael.
Tall guys. Nice. So love that. Those are always fun because it's crazy. Like Miguel Tejada, for instance, like that was why I was laughing. It's like you got 8 teams on there, right? And I'm just like, I don't have a prayer at this point, but you do lose track. It's funny how like your brain remembers certain guys to a certain point, and then it's just like, well, I didn't see him that much, so like I stopped following their career, right? And that's where I was with Miguel Tejada. After that second Baltimore, it's like I no clue. But yeah, a lot of guys, right? And then he was another guy that was questioned about his age, right? I think around the time he won the home run derby.
Tejada got the age question, yes.
So yeah, 6-year stretch of or more of 30-30. Yeah, he was unreal.
He was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Played good defense, hit for power, could run. I mean, he could do it. He literally could do it all for stretches.
Yeah.
And then he had a stretch where he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons in a row where he played 162. And then the 2 seasons before that streak started, he played 160 and 159. Like the guy was out there every day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and don't forget about his 150 RBI season with the Orioles in 04.
Yep. Frank, this is fair, right? Harrison, to be honest, I don't think multiple MVPs gets you into the Hall. Look at Dale Murphy. Yeah.
I agree. I've always said I think the MVPs are automatic. I think other people have made the argument of, well, multiple MVPs, you should get in the Hall of Fame. There's a lot of guys that won multiple MVPs that aren't in the Hall. I totally agree with you, Frank. I don't think it is a lock. There's many guys out there walking around with a couple of them that aren't in the Hall of Fame.
Mike, we should do Rich Hill's or Edwin Jackson's path. We would need 3 slides to put all the teams on.
Yeah, I would have to blow that up on a projector screen.
You're doing it like the weather report behind you.
It'd have to be like a ticker at the bottom just so it could keep going.
Right. Man.
I'm pretty sure I did Moyer, and his was a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I could fit Rich Hill or Edwin Jackson on the screen.
Yeah.
Because the hard part is not just how many teams they played for, it's how many different stops they made. So if you played for the same team twice at different times, those both go on there. So those guys, in some cases, went back to teams. Like I think Rich Hill's might be worse than Edwin Jackson's because there's so many teams he went back to.
Right. He's got 25 stops, but 14 teams.
14 teams, 25 stops.
Yeah.
It's probably worse than Edwin Jackson's.
Yeah. Norm Charlton or Arthur Rhodes, those ones would be ridiculous.
Oh my Lord. Some of those relievers, every year it was a new team, and sometimes it was 2.
Yeah.
But Rich Hill, it was Chicago, then Baltimore, then Boston, then Cleveland, then LA, then New York, then Boston, then Oakland, then LA, then Minnesota, then Tampa, then New York, then Boston, then Pittsburgh, then San Diego, then Boston, then KC. He went to Boston 3 different times. 4 times. He's been to Boston 4 times.
Yeah.
I mean, it's absurd.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to see it anymore, Michael. They'd be like these little specks. It would look like a NASCAR, like all those stickers on it.
Right. Yeah. Lance Parrish, another one could be with all the stops.
Oh yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, just so many.
Yeah. Well, speaking of relievers, I guess I'll break the news here. We do possibly have a guest coming on. I'm working on Ray King. You remember a big lefty pitched for a bunch of teams in the early 2000s. I've been in talks with him. He's actually going out west to help with spring training for independent ball, but said he'd be back around the 14th. So looking to possibly get Ray King on the show to talk about his career on May 18th, which I think is a couple Sundays away. But so in talks with him, still in the preliminary, but thought I'd let you guys know that'd be kind of a cool interview. I remember watching him, but
yeah, he was dominant in Milwaukee. I remember him in St. Louis because he was there in 04.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had some really dominant seasons.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be kind of cool if we can get him on. But yeah, just thought I'd let you guys know. But all right, Harrison, anything else for this week? Yeah, Ray King, Cardinal legend of Ray King. Let's go. Yeah, Ryan would love that one for sure.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, anything in the chat, you can bring stuff up as well.
Yeah, so we talked about Volpe getting sent down. That was kind of big news. The Reds yesterday issued 7 straight walks, which tied an MLB record. That's pretty awful. 7 straight. You would think at some point somebody'd either put a ball in play or you'd throw enough strikes to get a guy out. That's pretty bad. And then so there's an article that came out. This was today. Came out this afternoon. About how bad the American League is. So the headline is, this year's American League might be the worst in Major League Baseball history. The average AL team's on pace to win just 77 games, while the entire NL Central is over 500 in early May. So the whole premise of the article is that the balance of power has seemed to shift so aggressively to the National League, and the American League teams are actually playing at the worst they ever have. It's below 500 across the American League, where the National League's above 500 across. And this could be record setting to have the American League play at such a poor clip.
That's what happens when you have 2 powerhouse payrolls in one league. right? Because then other teams have to spend to keep up with them. And in the AL, you don't. And then when you have interleague matchups as often as you do, these National League teams are just coming in and just rolling over these American League teams. So you could essentially have the entire National League be over 500 and the entire American League be under 500. Like essentially the math could work out to be that way with all these interleague matchups.
Right.
So it doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't. But yeah, the American League as a whole has been dreadful to watch. Dreadful.
Yeah. And I think that's the big takeaway is the fact like the American League, the National League the last few years has taken significant steps forward. We've talked about how tough the National League's become. A lot of talents moved to the NL. At the same time, the American League has really seen a decline as guys have opted for other teams in the National League. And as bad as some of the teams in the NL are, I mean, the average team in the NL is above 500, and the average team in the AL is below 500. There's only 4 American League teams with winning records right now. Like it's as we said, it goes back into the idea of this season's been strange. This is just a really strange season that it's so oddly unbalanced. Yeah.
I mean, but Michael, where did that comment go? You said, but one of the huge payroll teams is dog poop. Right. But it doesn't matter that team is dog poop. What matters is the other 14 teams in the National League have to make their teams better to compete. Now, yes, no one expected the Mets to play this poorly, but they didn't know that when they were building the teams in the offseason. And that was my point with that. Like, even though, the Mets are crap, teams still had to prepare to try to compete with them, compete with the Dodgers, right? Compete with those higher payroll teams in the National League. Like, listen, there's still some high payroll teams in the American League. I get it. But I don't know. Who said it back here? I think they crushed it. Silix, this is a great point. There's a lot of top talent in the AL, but not enough depth. The NL teams are loaded right now, 1 through 9. And like, it was funny because we were doing our free agent prediction show, right? We're just like, where's this guy going? West Coast. Where's this guy going? West Coast. How about this guy? West Coast. It was Padres, Dodgers, Giants. That's where we were thinking. Oh, another guy to the NL West. Shocker, shocker, right? I mean, it was just signing after signing. So as much as the start of the season has been a surprise because it's been so weird, like we've said, it doesn't surprise me at the same time.
Right.
Because if you've watched American League Baseball right now, at this moment, it is not great. And that's across the board.
No, it's not good. The American League has been really, really weak. And in general, the play has not been great. And you have some of the biggest disappointments sitting in the American League.
Yeah. But still wild. Yeah.
Yeah, and like Curtis says, remember every team in the NL Central is above 500. When the hell's the last time that happened?
Yeah. Smooth Will, you say part of it's the weather. I mean,
but the National League has weather too.
Yeah, that's my. I don't know how. I mean, maybe a small part of it could be, but I don't know. I just think the National League brand of baseball at the moment is better. It's superior.
Well, and you've had a big swing of players from the AL to the NL. Like there's been a pretty significant transfer of talent between the two. You know, you had Bo Bichette. I mean, Brandon Bo Bichette's not a great example because he's not off to a great start, but like Bo Bichette moved over, Shohei Ohtani moved over. You look across these different
Blake Snell, Glasnow.
Yeah, Snell and Glasnow moved over. Like you have a lot of guys that have transitioned into the NL. No, have guys come back to the AL? Yeah, but they've not been like marquee names. I mean, Pete Alonso, but he hasn't done squat. Contreras has been good, thankfully. But we've seen for the last few years, and we talked about it a couple years ago, even it just seems like everybody's moving to the NL, and the NL's become a gauntlet.
Yeah. Now, if let's say the NL didn't take on the DH. Oh, yeah, Bregman, AL to NL. It's another one.
Oh yeah.
If the National League didn't take on the DH, would we see AL players head that direction?
I mean, yes, I think for the right opportunity, yes, but I would. I mean, you wouldn't have Ohtani in the National League. He wouldn't have been able to go because he can't play the outfield.
Right.
So, like, you would have a guy like Ohtani wouldn't have made the move to the National League without the universal DH because he wouldn't have had a place to play. I do think there's some guys that wouldn't have been able to make the move, but I think you still would have seen guys go for the right scenario. But it certainly would have added some complexity.
No, Mike, to your question, Ohtani wouldn't be on the Dodgers. I don't think so.
He wouldn't be able to be.
I don't know if they'd be able to flex the rules. He would have to play the outfield in order for him to pitch and hit, right? Because there's no DH option. Well, no, he would just hit when he was pitching, but when he came out as a pitcher, he'd be out of the lineup.
Correct.
So the DH allows him to stay in. So
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean in terms? Yeah, Smoothwell meant guys are going to the West Coast for the weather. That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, Bogarts and Betts, AL guys tearing it up in the NL. Those are two other good ones. Machado. Yeah. A lot of big names.
We've seen a pretty steady migration to the NL, but I mean, we've seen these swings before where the NLs get strong and then they move back and the AL gets strong and then they kind of go back and forth. But I think what's interesting is like we're at a point where after a month of the season, we're historically unbalanced, which we've been feeling that for a little while. But like, I think we're finally hitting that point where it's like, okay, this is real. Like the talent really has shifted.
Dodgers would have just paid some made up tax to let Ohtani DH anyways. Fair.
I mean, you're not wrong. I wish you were wrong, but you're not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting for sure. And if we get a cap in and we get this competitive balance, whatever that looks like, do we see this start to even out again? Because quote unquote superstars are going to have to eventually be spread back out to these middle market to lesser market teams.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yin and yang, calm down, boys. It's only the start of May. This is our show, John. We can be excited if we want to be. But you're right. I mean, it all levels out, right? Sean's famous saying, the water finds its level, right?
Yeah.
It will eventually. But you do wonder how much does the balanced schedule now? You're taking out less division games, so you're playing your division guys less than ever, right? 6 games less than you were before, times 3, right? Times 4.
Yeah.
So you're missing out on 24 division games, which would, level out your records, right? You would have more 500 teams. And now you're replacing those 24 games with National League teams.
Yeah, and we've talked about it. Like the American League versus National League division means less now than ever before. Universal DH, so it's the same rules, more balanced schedule, so you're playing them like anybody else. Like you're at the point now where you really have blurred the lines between the AL and the NL.
Yeah. Silic says, not to sound rude, but I think there are a lot better coaches in the NL and by a mile. I don't disagree.
You might. I mean, I think you've seen that there's been some manager issues in the American League, although Thompson got fired too. But you've got a bunch of AL guys on the hot seat, and early in the season. So yeah, maybe there is some truth to that. Maybe the coaching's a part of it too.
Yeah, Frank, we've talked about this too. Just think how the balance will play out when the expansion happens.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about it a few ways. Are they going to go to just 16 and 16? Are they going to go to four division, leagues? Like a Northeast, a Southeast, a North Midwest, or something like that, North and South, like football. I would go that way. I would set it up just like hockey too, where you have those four little subdivisions like football, but when it comes to the playoffs, like just the top 8 in each conference make it. That's how I would do it. And then 1 versus 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, 4, 5. That's how I would do it.
And I think baseball is the only sport that's kind of like made the divisions, or not the divisions, the leagues not matter. Like in the NFL, the conferences don't matter. Like you only play one of the other divisions in the other conference each year. Like you rotate through, so you don't see everybody every year.
Right.
Same with the NBA. You don't necessarily play a balanced schedule. Same with the NHL. You don't necessarily play a balanced schedule. You do see the teams, but not as much. MLB is kind of like just blowing it out. You're gonna see, except for your division, you're gonna see everybody else basically the same amount of times.
Yep.
Because it's all the same.
Yeah. Michael says, "Yeah, I don't see any AL managers tackling Soler."
Probably not.
No. I don't know. I don't know if I'd take on John Snyder. That's a big dude.
He's a big guy. Yeah, he seems like a big guy that can get pretty angry.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, a lot on the table. Interleague play has gotten out of hand. Lame. I don't necessarily disagree. I love the fact that when it started, right, I was like, great. We finally get to see, the Dodgers come into town and play the Red Sox. We get to see the Braves come up the Fenway. The Cubs and the Red Sox, like 2 historic franchises with old ballparks. Like really cool to see the Red Sox in Wrigley and vice versa, right? Like it's really cool. But like the first couple of years was great. And now it's just like it's kind of worn off, the novelty of it, I guess. Right? And it's just kind of like, all right, it's just another series. And like you said, it's not really American League and National League anymore. If American League teams have to go in and play National League rules, then it's different. Right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. They need to tune down interleague play once they expand. See, I think it's the opposite. I think it's going to disperse even more. Because, I mean, how many conference games can you really have in a 4-team subdivision? Well, if that's the way they choose.
And playing 162 games.
Right.
Like, that's a lot of schedule to fill out.
Yeah. And you're not going to play the same 3 teams 23 times to fill out your 60 games. Right? You still got to fill another 100 games somehow. How are you going to do that? I don't know.
Yeah.
They need not expand. Ryan, I get it, but it's going to happen. It's coming.
Yeah. It feels like it's kind of just inevitable.
Yeah, it's coming. And opening the season with interleague games, I don't like it. I agree with that point.
I do agree. You should open the seasons with ideally division games, but since you can't necessarily do that with everybody, at least in your league.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? The Brewers played the first 14 games of their seasons against AL opponents.
Right.
They didn't play a National League opponent until like game 15 or 16. Something ridiculous like that.
Like I'd be okay with the opening season. You start with like a World Series rematch. That gets your one interleague because you got 15 teams in each league. You don't have an even number. So you do like a World Series rematch, and then everybody else plays in their league.
Yeah, I hope they bring back the rivalry weekend.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah,
it was fun. They matched up all the teams against like their rival. That was a good time. That was a great weekend.
Yeah, that was cool.
So I don't know. We'll rivalry games to start and end the season. Figure it out. Yeah. So Ryan's with me there. So yeah, I love it. That'd be great. Open and end, no, those should be division games. 1,000%.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, the Brewers starting on 14 games or whatever interleague play it was this year was crazy. It might have actually been 12. I think their first first 3 series were against AL teams. Let's see if I can
was weird.
find it.
It was weird.
So they started. Yeah, let's see. They had the White Sox on the 26th at home. Then they had the Rays at home. Then they went to the Royals, and then they went to the Red Sox. So they did not have a National League opponent until April 10th. So they had,
So weird.
6. They had their first 12 games were against American League opponents. Crazy.
It's just wild.
Yeah. Gotta love AI doing the schedule now instead of those 2 old couples just putting stuff on bulletin boards.
Oh man.
But
Classic.
yeah. But man.
What else we got, chat?
Yeah, I got nothing else. So I think we covered mostly everything, but
We smothered it. And I will just one thing to add. Is Ben Rice now the best hitter in the Yankees lineup? Just asking.
dude's been raking, that's for sure.
Dude's he's a monster.
Yeah.
From little Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire. He's a smarty pants.
Smarty pants. Cardinals and Dodgers have the same record. What year is it? If I'm dreaming, do not wake me up.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah. Well, I think that will do it for tonight, fellas. Another incredible show. And we thank that all to you. You guys bring so much to this show, episode after episode. We appreciate the support that you guys give us here on the live shows, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page. You guys are the reason we do this, and we couldn't do it without you. Appreciate it. We will be back Thursday night, 9 p.m. I'll keep you guys posted on future guests that we're still working on here. But until then, enjoy your week of baseball, and we will see you Thursday night.
See ya.